with a voice.
What do you
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. It's yet another beautiful Wednesday sunny morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. Finally, it's midweek. That tells you that gradually, we are getting closer to the weekend, and I know some people just can't wait for the weekend. Me as well. Anyways, you're welcome to the news headline review. Here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news. From business to politics, from sports to entertainment, we got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning, right here on the news headline review. And as you know, I have sitting with me my knowledgeable ladies who are going to digest the issues to your understanding. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Miss Debbie, how are you doing?
The grace is sufficient and I'm fit as a fiddle.
Oh, we bless God for that. Miss Regina?
Yeah,
I love your shirt.
thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Oh, we bless God for that.
Hope you are also fine.
I'm doing well by the grace of God.
Thank God.
Yeah, we thank God. Anyways, let's dive straight into our major news items for this morning. Sam Okujetu defends Tokonu over controversial travel with husband. Former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Sam Okujetu, has defended former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu over criticisms surrounding her travel with her husband while in office. Speaking at the IEA Policy Dialogue Series, the respected lawyer said the former Chief Justice did nothing wrong, describing her travel arrangements as a safety valve, a measure meant to protect top officials from moral compromise or undue influence. Mr. Okujetu argued that such practices are common in many international institutions where officials are allowed to travel with their spouses for ethical and safety reasons. He criticized those politicizing the issue, urging Ghanaians to focus on real governance issues instead of private matters that distract from national development. He said, "When people made noise about the Chief Justice traveling with her husband, I said they don't understand that that's a safety valve to ensure she's not alone. It's a protective measure." Meanwhile, Justice Tokonu has also responded to the allegation made against her, describing them as false and misleading. She explained that her trips were officially sanctioned and within her conditions of service as Chief Justice. According to her, she traveled with her husband on one trip and her daughter on another, both fully approved and in line with judicial service policy, which allows per diem for accompanying family members on official travel. Justice Tokonu instead insisted that all financial proceedings were followed, dismissing claims that she misused public funds or failed to return $14,000 in press. So that is coming from the former president of the Ghana Bar Association, Sam Okujetu. and he mentioned that there's nothing wrong with the Chief Justice traveling with the husband. That is a safety valve, because she's not supposed to be alone. At least someone is supposed to be with her for the sake of safety. So there's nothing wrong with Tokonu's husband traveling with her. And he also mentioned that instead of Ghanaians to focus on national issues for national development, we are rather following this whole issue, which is distracting national development. And that was coming from Mr. Okujetu. Yesterday when I saw it, I was like, Sam Okujetu. I was like, hey, Ablakwa, is that how you are? And I read it while I was like, oh, okay. Sam Okujetu, rather. Yeah, so, Miss Regina.
Yeah.
Do you agree with Mr. Sam Okujetu?
Okay, so first off, I'd like to take it from the point where he said, I saw you didn't read one particular thing.
Which is?
He said, excuse me to say, it's stupid.
Oh.
And I would like to start from that angle. We are concerned Ghanaians, and our tax paying are the ones funding these people. So he shouldn't tell us what to do with our mindsets. He shouldn't tell us how to think. He shouldn't tell us what to do with our brains, for that it is not accepted. Fine, we might be prolonging this issue to the point where it would hinder development in the country, but that shouldn't also be the case. I believe that no one would be happy to see that a government official is using taxpayers' money to fund for his or her lifestyle that is not even stated in the constitution. So from that angle, only film say Ghanaians should focus on more important things. This one too is important to us. If it's not important, and I don't believe that when President Mahama came, he would even set up something called oral.
Yeah.
They would have just moved on with their lives, but they set something up called oral to make sure that all government officials who looted from the government are punished. Now, to the main issue, when I saw it, I was like, oh wow. And according to what the former Chief Justice said, she said it's according to the law that you can go and one person, either family, not family, official, not official, she can't be to me cover the person per, she said, they said per dime or something.
Yeah, per dime.
And I just say, yana ye rashi and I kasa bibri. We didn't do our background checks well or something. So since Samuel Okujeto has come out, me, I like the fact that you see Samuel Okujeto, he's an NDC member. And now MPP.
This one is different
this
from
is
Sam Okujeto. This
It's not a black one.
no.
This is not a black one. So
too.
that was what I
We have
read.
Sam Okujeto. Then we have Samuel Okujeto.
Samuel
a black
Okujeto.
one.
So that was what I read, and I was like, I thought it was
And
Sam.
I mean,
But I
thought it's
yeah. So
Okujeto
immediately
Ablakwa.
when I picked the story, it was Sam. So I was in. It was actually the name that got me close to the story, and I read it was like, oh, he's actually the former.
MPP.
For that we can tell.
But he has been in. I think he has been in office before.
Yeah, he's the former president of the Ghana Bar Association.
Former president of Ghana. Definitely you defend.
Oh,
but
well.
from what Chief Justice said, it's according to the law. And I think sometimes when issues arises, we need to make our background checks first.
Which of the Chief Justices that made that statement? Is it Tokonu herself?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the reading.
Right.
She said she followed due process. It's judicial process. And every, let me go back to that. Okay, so she said both considered official vacations under her conditions of service. And she rejected the accusation that her accompanying family members should not have received per dime, stressing that the judicial service travel policy explicitly allows per dime for persons accompanying the Chief Justice on official travel. So according to her and according to the law, it's fine for her to go. But yeah, as Ghanaians, we wouldn't see it like that, because we are just, should I say, we are normal citizens, not we attached to the law. So if it's fine, no problem. But the money that they said she's owing, that she should refund it. 14,000. But she said she's not owing it.
No. Miss Debbie.
So I don't understand why he will state that we are politicizing the issue instead of focusing on developmental staffs that concern the state. So is he trying to say that you being given a tax by an institution you work for, and then it's cover expenses of you alone, and then you go with your husband? You're telling us that it's not an issue where we should discuss. It's not a developmental issue where we should discuss.
So let me read what Sam Okujetu said. He said, when the confusion arose about the Chief Justice going with her husband that they were making for, I said, you are all stupid because you don't seem to understand it. That's a safety valve to make sure that she's not alone. He added that such practices are standard in high-level institutions, and he made an example where he said he served on the Rotary International Board, the highest level as a trustee. I was actually the vice chair of all the trustees of the Rotary Foundation. It's part of the rule. You go with your spouse. There's no temptation. You don't go and then you come and find another woman in your bed or a man in your bed. That is to prevent it. So that safety valve was put there to protect the Chief Justice, and you are making a point and you don't understand it. So please, let's just look at the issue of our country, he explained.
So what you just read is comparing Ghana to the international world.
Yeah.
And you cannot compare Ghana to the international world because how they do their things is different from how we do ours.
Yeah, looking at how he spoke and what I read, it looks like what he experienced, he thinks that is how is being done.
But that is not it.
Right.
So long as maybe you've gotten the opportunity to tour some countries and then see how they do their things, it doesn't mean that is the same way we do our things here. No. That is why I started by saying that if a company, fine, so let's take for instance, GhanaTalks Radio is saying that they are sending you on an errand. They didn't include your mother. They didn't include your father. The expenses has to do with only you.
Okay, so I just did the research and they said there's not really a law backed by constitution, but when it comes to the internal judicial, they've accepted it. So they said that the Chief Justice shall undertake unlimited official travels with either his or her spouse or other person of his or her choice in a year, fully funded by the Judicial Service. And another paragraph, A10, says where the Chief Justice is accompanied by the spouse or other person, he or she shall travel on the same class of air tickets as the Chief Justice and shall be paid equivalent of half the per diem paid to the Chief Justice. So travel expenses, hotel accommodations and per diem will be borne by the Judicial Service and capped at 14 days per round trip.
Are you sure what you just read? The legal practitioners themselves know what you just read. No, I'm just asking. Because I've heard some legal practitioners. No, I'm not trying to rubbish what you just read though. But I've heard legal practitioners who said that it's against the law. I've heard Martin Pebu talk about this same issue.
It's a lot because as it stands now, you don't even know what to believe.
Before I spoke, I said the policy is not necessarily a law passed by Parliament, but it is an internal policy regulation of the Judicial Service. I said that before reading whatever I read.
Well, I think that's that. So you cannot really compare other nations to Ghana. That is it. Whatever is being stated here, you go by it. And I don't see this issue as something that is not a developmental issue that we should talk about.
But do you think that this should, as she mentioned, that it's not actually a law passed by Parliament, but do you think it should be something that should be passed by Parliament so that just in future we don't have the same issues as we did with this woman?
Well, for me, it's not necessary. And as I asked, I'm not saying that what she's saying wrong, and even though it wasn't passed by law, but even the legal practitioners themselves do not abide by it. So why then should we pass it into law? I believe if it is that necessary, they would have passed it. But I don't see anything necessary with this. You are going to work. Is it going to accompany or boost your confidence for you to work more?
So
I don't really see.
Not necessarily your husband. It could actually be any member of the family that you trust, that you think can not aid you in work, but at least assist you there, kind of like give you that emotional support or morale.
It's emotional support. If they want to give you emotional support, why wouldn't the judiciary themselves assign someone in the same institution as you are, someone that when you're trying to think about law, the person will give you, details or something to help you. You're going with a family member who is not a lawyer, who is not a justice, who is not a judge.
The person is not there necessarily to assist you to work, but it's there to give you emotional support.
For me, it's not necessary.
Right. Miss Regina, do you think this should actually be something that should be passed into law so that we don't face future controversies just as we are facing? Because as you read, you said it's not necessarily passing. So why don't they just make it a law? So we don't have difficulties or struggle with this again.
Okay, so before I say anything, I would say the best person to really, should I say, talk about this is someone who is, who is a lawyer, who is a judge, or anyone related to law. So to my personal opinion, sometimes when it comes to work, I think work is work.
Work is work.
Yeah, work is work. And either emotional, physical, psychology support or whatsoever, you need to make sure that you do your work according to. And also, in a way, you need emotional support. And since you are traveling to another state,
another country,
you will need it. Yeah, so it's necessary.
It's necessary. So for you, you wish it could just be passed into a law that when you're a high official.
Say who you're a high official, like even your friends and domestic staff, privileges come.
Yeah.
So it's not it's not surprising. This is no news. I think the SIC woman, they are not insurance company. Even the gardener, just common gardener, was having these privileges. You know, how much more Chief Justice?
How much more Chief Justice? Right. In Tim Fojo questions Mohammed's commitment to anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Reverend John Intim Fojo, one of the key sponsors of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, has questioned President John Dramani Mohammed's commitment to the controversial anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. Speaking in Accra, Reverend Intim Fojo expressed disappointment that the president has yet to deliver on his repeated promise to present the bill as a government-sponsored initiative, despite being in office for nearly a year. He pointed out that Parliament has already passed over 100 bills, including some under emergency proceedings, but the much-discussed government-sponsored version of the LGBTQ plus bill is still missing. He questioned, if the president was truly committed, he would have brought it by now. We have stayed here till midnight to pass bills under urgent conditions. So what's holding this one? Reverend Tim Fojo, however, noted that Parliament remains open to supporting any future version introduced by the government, but insisted that it would not replace the current bill being considered. He then again said, we will support the president's bill if it comes, but it won't take away the importance of what we are doing now. He added that lawmakers are determined to pass the current bill and send it to Parliament, to the president for approval, in line with what he described as Ghanaian culture and moral values. Yeah, so why this anti-LGBTQ plus issue has been back and forth, with some George also being in the picture, and Parliament just resumed yesterday. and Reverend Tim Fojo has brought up the issue again, that why is President John Dramani Mahama not committed to actually passing this particular bill? So why do you think the government has not yet presented the version of the anti-LGBTQ plus to Parliament? Why do you think? What are they waiting for?
Sorry.
That's fine.
Well, I believe they might have their own reasons why they actually kept us in dark for so long. And I think any government that comes into power has a listed activities they want to perform. And then it's one step at a time. So you don't expect a government to come into power and then, well, we might be so eager for him to do what we want, but it has to be a step-by-step something. So with this anti-LGBTQ plus, I feel like the government would have speak on it, but as to when, I have no idea. But yesterday, seeing in Team Fojo and then some judge bringing it up, I was very, very happy. And I'll be much excited if the president will just sign. When you just sign it and then now it becomes a law. And you see, I've heard people also saying that we are so much entitled to nations that we've become slaves to. Why am I saying this? You know, even when we need salt, we have to go and borrow money. When we need matches, we have to go and borrow money. And so in a way, it's like you helping me and then telling me that I should do something for you. Already my hands are tied. There is no way I can say no, because I have to think about the benefit I also gain from you, and also bow down to your what's the name? Your rules. And so that is why I feel like a lot of people are actually calling on the government or stakeholders and people who are actually so much endowed into this LGBTQ plus to advise the government and then think twice on whether to sign this LGBTQ plus wherever it is. But then I feel like it should be signed because I feel it has caused more harm to people. Me, for long, I can sign it down. Yeah, I don't care about adults who are already into it, but young people who are innocent, yes, say on my bono, and then they harm me, especially the male side. Recently, I heard an information where a student were taken by a teacher, a male boy, and after doing that, he actually recorded the boy, and then he was using that to blackmail the boy, so that the boy cannot tell anybody, and then he will continue to have what's the name? Take advantage over him. So imagine this is passed into law. Yeshua straight. We were here where a coach took a boy he was training, a young boy who has this vision of becoming a footballer. The boy died, and up to now the coach is nowhere to be found. So imagine this bill is being passed into law. All these people will have to face the law. And we wouldn't even have people coming from other countries coming to stand at the Independence Square and be kissing each other. It's not allowed here. Everybody and their tradition. And so long as it is allowed in other country, doesn't mean that we should also condone to that. So for me, I'm just hoping that the president is not going to resist in signing this.
Right. Miss Regina, what are your thoughts on the news story?
Okay, so Reverend in Team Fojo.
Yes, exactly.
He's a reverend, so I would take his statements to be a moral debate and not a political strategy. This being said, LGBTQ plus nimpo chese bebre san twatwaso. This shouldn't be something we should prolong, honestly. We were in this country where some, excuse me to say, unscrupulous human beings came into Ghana from wherever God knows. From wherever.
That is it.
And Ghana, and they stood in front of our monuments and took a picture, kissing each other, telling us what to do. They are telling us that they are fighting for the right of these people, Ghanaians who are involved in such things. They are fighting for them, for their rights. And I never heard, I think some judge came out to speak about it, but I didn't see any punishment meted out to these people fine, maybe they are foreigners, nothing can be done to them. But we have Ghanaians who have openly come out to declare their stance on LGBTQ+, that boldly omuyebi. We've seen Ghanaians in Burma who are supposed to be men, who are supposed to behave like men. They are on social media portraying all kinds of behavior. Omo so ya no mo dada omo to. Sisi omo bo muti, omo she lash, omo she nails atenten same man no. And we've seen instances where this person I'm talking about has had several sex videos of him. He even boldly posted it on his social media. And we have men who will be under that comment section. Oh, he's handsome. Oh, he's beautiful. Oh, if I get. Now I'll be like, seriously. In a way, I am a choice. He has made his position clear. But what of other minors who are on social media watching the things this person is doing on social media? We need to really think about that. I can't remember President John Dramani Mahama. He specifically said that there is no way he would make sure that LGBTQ goes on in the country under his watch. I remember he said it. If I'm not mistaken, it was last year. Okay. We've not seen anything, nothing. I believe him that he would sign it, but when?
That's the thing. When?
Debbie made an example where a coach ne fan akolane to wewu, and young boys are being taken advantage of day in and day out. Some women are even subjected to that thing. Some women are subjected to that thing. So I don't know what they are waiting for. Human beings, Becca said, they don't want to have sexual intercourse with their opposite sex, but with animals. In which country is that? Ghana here. If it was a good thing, Sodom and Gomorrah, it happened in the Bible, it happened. But what did God do? God punished these people. So they should tell us that it's a bad thing. If it was a good thing, God would have just left them and they would be doing it. But he said, what these people are doing is an abomination. Nyamebo Adam no. If he didn't want a woman to come, he would have created another Adam for Adam. And there will be two Adams. But no, he created Eve because onim de ayamanema. This is not infringing on anyone's right though. God can create you. God can put you in your mother's womb and come out and tell God or tell your mother that no, you don't want to be a man, you want to be a woman. And these people go as far as taking pills that will transform them within a space of 1 year. Hey, science is becoming dangerous. So they should sign it fast. And they should criminalize it. If you are caught, then and yes, I will call them. You don't need to.
Government approves establishment of first marine protected area in Ghana. Ghana is taking a major step toward protecting its marine life and fishing communities. The Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Emilia Atta, has announced that Cabinet has approved the establishment of the country's first ever marine protected area. The site will be located within the Greater Cape 3 Point area in the Western region, covering about 700 square kilometers of sea. According to the minister, this historic move is part of Ghana's Blue Economy Strategy, a plan to restore marine ecosystems, rebuild fish stocks, and support the livelihoods of coastal communities. She explained that the new marine protected area is not a total fishing ban, but rather a system to promote sustainable fishing practices, protect breeding zones for key species like sardine, and safeguard the routines of whales, dolphins, and turtles. The ministry is set to begin mapping, sensitization, and enforcement planning soon to ensure the project's success. Mrs. Atta described the initiative as a milestone that aligns with Ghana's commitment to the UN Convention on Biodiversity and the Sustainable Development Goal 14, which focuses on life below water. What do you think of this initiative? Do you think it's going to, help Ghana restore its fish stock? All right.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing. Just recently, I saw on TikTok, Papa bi okache ne na kwala se on kono nkwache fish mbrana omo fanye nkwan no mu dufufu. Okoye no oba no na oswa turtle. A very huge turtle for that matter, not tortoise, so turtle oswa. And the man asked, so the turtle you are bringing, what I come to use the turtle for? What the buy nkwan? And he was like, yes. Actually, one thing I was happy about, the man sagged in to make sure so the turtle no ko share a punimu back. And I was happy about that. See, especially people living at these coastal areas, they fish anyhow. First off, when we talk about fishing illegally, it looks like Ghana happen people can fish illegally without any offense. But when you go to the Western world, they'll really prioritize that. Even if you have a pet in your home, which is a cat, anything, now you hit it or you mistreat it, you will be arrested. But Ghana, all they care about is what they will eat. Fish, every fish, fish, shark, nare. And so it's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to, you are supposed to protect our marine habitat. So first off, they need to check illegal fishing, where they even use dangerous chemicals to fish. They need to check it. And secondly, protecting the water that carries this marine habitat. People would wake up, excuse me to say, defecate in the waters. They would use the waters as their dumping sites. I'm sorry, a baller, no me gum. Yes, in Sona Hampo anything. It's a Cologono.
Yeah, Cologono.
And when you go to down Suman too, the water it's, I don't know how to put it, it's an eyesore. You want to mean shampoo air time. The rocks there, you see the rocks are very beautiful. Ube kono na rocks no, in chen no. Na nipa da sini ne yi no edaho. Sorry to say, ni tiefi edaho. You don't even know where to sit. Natural people go there to release stress. But if you are not stressed now around and you're stressed, you're supposed to release it out, but you are taking in more stress. The air is not even natural anymore. So it's good, and they need to make sure that they set aside sanctions for these people, and they also need to educate the fishermen. So we call pona, yes, and yeah, Nambia na wuchia or so whatever. Give it back. See, even those fingerlings, we are not supposed to catch them, leave them in the sea and concentrate on the adults.
If you don't bring it, how will you get there?
You see, we've normalized it. We've normalized it, so
it's illegal.
But hot pepper. It's good, but
Miss them.
Oh my God. Okay, so when you see other countries, they have seasons where fishermen actually go on sea to fish. They have a duration.
Yes.
So maybe in a year you can go to the sea like 3 times. After that, you leave the sea to regain its strength. Allow the
fingerlings
to grow, and juicy, so you can go for it again. And I quite remember during the previous administration, we saw instances where the then Minister for Fisheries, what's her name?
Hawa Kumsi
sent a padlock and key
to lock the sea.
to lock the sea. Why? Because we were using chemicals, harmful chemicals in fishing, especially when you go to communities in Ghana, like Jamestown. You go to communities where they are closer to the sea. Sometimes you just wake up in the morning, then it's like, not because of that, but because they use chemical substance in fishing, and so they do that and then they go to sleep. You wake up in the morning and then you see fishes all over at the seashore, and it's not helping us. When we continue to do that, a day will come where there will be shortage of fishes. Like we might see it to be it's something that is natural. Fishes cannot be shortened in our water bodies, but it can happen. It can happen. The sea cannot dry, but who knows? Maybe one day the sea will dry up. No one have an idea. Anything can happen. So I feel like bringing up an initiative to protect our marines, our water, especially the sea, is very, very, very important. And as she said, like educating these fishermen on how to fish. Sometimes I feel like it's not as if they are not aware. They know what they are doing, but it's for a selfish gain. So imagine you are able to catch a number of fish like in large quantities. It benefits you. You get a lot of profit. But when you don't get much, it's like you are running at loss. But this is something that you are always with. The sea is not running. It's something that you get to in a second. So why don't you do it, bit by bit? So if we can also introduce that thing in this country where fishermen can actually go to the sea, say 3 times in a year or 4 times in a year. And then...
No, I think it will help a lot. It will allow the fingerlings to grow. Yeah.
And doing that is not as, we don't have one sea in Ghana, right? So definitely there will be fishes around. Fish ain't mean short.
Maybe it will be a rotational something.
Yes.
So maybe in these 3 months, this particular region will harvest, and another month, a different region will harvest, but not necessarily always it should be the same place. When it happens like that,
it's not helping.
Yeah, you end up catching the fingerlings. And I think the fishermen also need to be educated on this thing, because most of the fishermen, they are not really
educated,
literate. Let me put it that way. They are not literate. So if you don't educate them and then tell them why they are not supposed to go to the sea as at this time, you will see them there every day and you have issues with them every day. So I think education should also be very important, especially for the fishermen and the fisherwomen as well.
And it's also protect we the consumers, because we are taking in a lot of chemicals.
Yeah, a lot of chemicals to harvest these fishes. Right. I think that'll be all for the news. Headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Mike Okwe, has once again questioned Ghana's heavy dependence on the International Monetary Fund, arguing that the country's repeated engagement with the fund have yielded little to no lasting economic benefit. Speaking at the Institute of Economic Affairs Policy Dialogue series on Ghana's natural resources, Professor Okwe said successive IMF programs have failed to bring the desired economic recovery and transformation Ghana has long sought for. According to him, Ghana's reliance on IMF prescriptions over the decades has not produced sustainable growth, but has instead imposed restrictions, policies that weaken innovations and limit the government's fiscal flexibility. He argued that it was time for the country to rethink its approach to economic management and see homegrown solutions anchored in the effective use of abundant natural resources. So Ghana is currently implementing its 17th IMF-supported program, a 3 billion extended credit facility aimed at restoring macroeconomic stability and ensuring debt sustainability. I think this is not a big news though, but it's quite sad because we have all the natural resources. We have everything that can make us enrich ourselves and even become a hub where we can as well lend money to other countries. But it's quite sad because we have the gold, we have the bauxite, we have the diamond. In fact, we have everything. But then we still go begging for arms. And that is why I sometimes feel a bit pissed when I see people saying that Ghana is beyond aid. We are beyond aid. We always say this. But we also see ourselves at the mercy of other countries, begging for their help. And IMF has now become a go-to platform for the country Ghana. That is where we go for support. And going for support from the IMF means that whatever they tell you, you should do. You don't just go for the money. There is a contract you have to sign. They give you policies to follow. You are being restricted on things to do and things not to do in your own country. But that is what it has become. Not knowing who to blame, our leaders, of not managing our resources very well. Because you see, it's sad. We mine gold here, but we don't refine those gold in this country. The gold is being sent to other countries. Not only gold, even cocoa. Aside some 2 or 3 private companies or institutions that actually are into processing gold into other Ghana made chocolate and chocolate biscuits in this country. It's being sent outside the country. For the past how many years now, I thought Milo was made in Ghana. I was thinking that we process it here. Not knowing I was deceiving myself all along. We don't process cocoa here. Gold, no. Bauxite, no. But we have everything. Even oil. The land is blessed. The land Ghana is very blessed. Because the land is very fertile and rich. But the people living on the land are not feeling the richness of what they have. And every time it has to do with IMF. Every second it has to do with IMF. In fact, we cannot even sit down and think of measures or solutions that can help us as a country. How well can we manage our resources? What are we to do? Because trust me, if those resources are being transported into other countries that process it into finished goods, they take like 99% and you are being given only 10% out of something that belongs to you. How do you expect to progress as a country with this kind of behavior or attitude? Because you don't have the machines and everything to process whatever you have in its raw state. You have no other option than to send it to other countries where they have everything. And when they are done, they take 99% and you are being given 10%. And that 10%, you have to share it among the development or the developmental project you want to do. Those 10% that get into our coffers, some has to be pushed into the educational sector, some has to be pushed into the health sector, some has to be pushed into roads. How can we develop as a country? How can we progress as a country with this kind of mindset? And the debt we are owing IMF, I'm not sure we can pay. This has to do with generations upon generations coming and we not being able to pay this money. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. Sometimes when you sit down and then you want to think about certain things, if you're not careful at a tender age, you'll be diagnosed with BP. Because we have almost everything. Even if, let's not even compare Ghana to Western countries. Let's compare Ghana to even some African countries. I think when God was actually creating the world, He actually made Ghana in such a way that Ghana will become a hub that will help other countries. And so in God's own wisdom, He gave us everything. But the leaders who are managing the affairs of these resources have done it in such a way that is to their own benefit. So where we've gotten to as a country, can't we come up with industries and resource these industries that can refine this gold we have, that can refine the bauxite, process the cocoa, and all these resources into something that will be useful to us as a country? Wouldn't it be nice if we stop this importation of 90% of the things we consume in this country and then start producing our own with the resources we have and then export it to other countries? We will make a lot of money. And that can also save us and prevent us from being slaves to other countries. And I believe that because we've refused to think, that is why we see ourselves in this situation. And sometimes it saddens my heart because it's not as if our leaders don't know all this. They know it. But I feel like they just don't want to do it, with reasons best known to themselves. They just don't want to do it. Ghana is almost getting to, if I'm not lying, 64, 65, 66. And we still can't even boast of anything. On every 6th March, we celebrate Independence Day. Wouldn't it be nice if we celebrate Independence Day and also be proud of ourselves of being really independent as a country? We lie to ourselves and then we raise the flag of Ghana. We sing the national anthem, deceiving ourselves. But deep within, we know we failed as a country. The leaders know they failed themselves and they failed the citizens of this country. And then we'll go singing God Bless Our Homeland Ghana, reciting the pledge. But here we are, nothing to show. It's very, very sad. So with what the former Speaker of Parliament is saying, if we can actually put this into consideration and coming up with proactive measures or steps that will help us as a country, wouldn't it be nice? How will you feel if you get to other countries and then anything you get to buy has to do with made in Ghana? Even things that are made in Ghana here have inscriptions of made in China. Because we don't really even believe in ourselves. It's not starting now. It started way back. It's about time we wake up as a country. The deed has already been done. We can always turn on a new page. If we are ready as a country, we can do this. We can do it. And as I said, it's about time we wake up from our slumber and start to face reality. Don't pretend as if you are not seeing the reality glaring right in front of you. Let's face the reality as it is and work towards it. And it's going to help us as a country. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that, girl. Up next, Today in History with Miss Regina Bliss.
Okay, so today in history, Ghana's Cyber Security Authority officially inaugurated. Ghana established the Cyber Security Industry Forum, an independent assessors to improve cybersecurity through collaboration, compliance, and professional development in accordance with the Cybersecurity Act of 2020. The forum fosters collaboration between government and private sector stakeholders to share best practices, while the independent assessors help the Cybersecurity Authority with regulatory activities like audits and evaluations. FBI agents kill fugitive Pretty Boy. Charles Pretty Boy Floyd is shot by FBI agents in a cornfield in East Liverpool, who had been a hotly pursued fugitive for 4 years, used his last breath to deny his involvement in the infamous Kansas City massacre, in which 4 officers were shot to death at a train station. He died shortly thereafter. American forces suffer first casualties in Vietnam. U.S. military personnel suffered their first casualties in the war when 13 Americans are wounded in 3 terrorist bombings of military assistance adversary group and U.S. information service installations in Saigon. The rising tide of guerrilla activity in South Vietnam reached an estimated 30 terrorist incidents by the end of the year, and at least 75 local officials were assassinated or kidnapped in the last quarter of 1957. South Vietnamese President Thai turns down peace proposal. On this day 1972, South Vietnamese President Nguyen Van Thieu turned down a peace proposal, refusing to sign the agreements negotiated by Henry Kissinger, and the North Vietnamese Thai's main objection was that the proposal did not require the withdrawal of North Vietnamese troops from South Vietnam, which he believed was critical for a lasting settlement. To some observances, International Stuttering Awareness Day. It is celebrated to raise public awareness about stuttering, reduce its stigma, and promote a more inclusive society for people who stutter. The day's activities also aim to educate the public, challenge common myths, support stuttering research, and provide a platform for people who stutter and professionals to connect, share experiences, and advocate for better support. Leave a Review Day. It is to highlight the importance of customer feedback for both consumers and businesses. It was created by Reputation and G2 in 2023 to encourage people to share honest reviews that help others make confident purchasing decisions and help businesses improve their products and services. Scar Appreciation Day. It is a day to embrace scars as symbols of resilience, survival, and personal journey, encouraging a more positive view of the physical and emotional impact of injuries, surgeries, or illness. The day promotes self-love, raises awareness about the causes of scars, and supports the healing process by sharing stories of overcoming adversity. Lastly, National Color Day. It is a day to recognize and appreciate the impacts of colors have on our mood, productivity, and behavior. It encourages people to celebrate the diversity of colors in the world and their influence on everything from our emotions to our creative expression. And that's all for today on Today in History and Some Observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for today in history and some observances of the day. And as you all know, today is Color Day. Make sure your day is colorful. Make it a blissful day. Colorful doesn't necessarily mean that color, but make a mark, leave a legacy wherever you go. Be nice and be kind to people. All right. This is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Up next, we'll be having the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be coming up with the main discussion. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, UK, Abrochimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the moon at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the amount. Your live band in so our tones at the frame ya beat me abababua ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Your enkind pupuni mantemo anya a ponchi hotel a hope pepe and a yebutu odian said obe fre and penny 4 was 0546 960510. GTR sounds a more de angaza.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast on Ghana Talks Radio. Western Regional Hospital project is to be completed within 18 months. Deputy Attorney General clarifies Operation Recover or Loot and its mandate. A Ascent South Member of Parliament criticized President Mahama over broken promises on anti-LGBTQ+I. Minority leader calls for equal application of justice. He also raises alarm over government commitment to democracy. These and many more coming up your way shortly. President John Dramani Mahama has assured residents of the Western Region that styled Western Regional Hospital Project will be completed within 18 months. The hospital project, which commenced in 2022 under the previous administration, was only 27% complete. During an inspection tour of the construction site, President Mahama noted that with the foundation work completed, the pace of the project will accelerate to ensure it is delivered on schedule. The Western Regional Hospital Project forms part of government's broader agenda to promote equitable development and quality healthcare delivery in the Western region.
Into a normal agreement on official credits, creditor committee no. Enti enjuma a share sa projects na se no. Oma makwan se yensan se ase. Enti yensan na ejuma no ebe gina no na contractor no the certificates ni biaba. Enti Ministry of Finance asha se share certificates no. Na omoni omwatena se. No mahu sika yede omoka na omonsa emra metro ejuma no so. Nti ye hwe se nyame ya doma ebia within the next 18 months na eche se ye ba nia bebia no fefe na enti ase amenya ne se ejuma no edru 27%. If you say foundation and ayedin into ekobase omu peja adina and no de be contem into 27% completion into Mr. Nyame say within the next 1.5 years yabaha na eche say nije nkwa na yenim say abra ye call campaign bebie ni ho a me call ya obia enije na kwan sam teacher Western region enti nana wenu hwam ensema okan na ayade a menim dada enti na afi ye budget ye bibia friend big push I just say ye hwe akwan akese ye friend.
The Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Rimsai has clarified that Operation Recover All Loot is not established to gather evidence but to recover assets. He emphasized that ORE's role is critical in the fight against corruption with the diligence of the office to retrieve stolen funds. The Deputy Attorney General assured the Attorney General's office is committed to ensure corporate faces the law without mercy.
His work probably didn't understand what the committee was to do. So the beginning of every criminal procedure is complaint, you know. So at the time, there were so many complaints of scandals, corruption in high offices. But people lost, you know, confidence in the state institutions because I think over the years they've tried to report some of them to some of the institutions and nothing happened. So they were really looking for a place to lodge those complaints. If the institutions had the trust of the people would have sent their report, these complaints that they sent to the committee there. So what the president did within that period was to create a platform for people to lodge those complaints. It was never intended to be an evidence gathering committee. It was never intended to be any official, when I say official, I mean in the criminal procedure we have stages. So it wasn't meant to be to play any role in the criminal procedure.
But we did see them gathering evidence, didn't we? We saw the committee members going to verify information, see for themselves in some cases.
I like the fact that you said verifying information. Right. So what they were gathering was information.
Right.
And that is different from evidence.
Okay.
So once you get information, so if you go to the police station right now and you say someone has stolen your car, what you have given to the police is information, and we call it complaint. Now the police would have to go and conduct investigations to gather evidence of the allegation of stealing. So what the committee was doing was to gather information. That is why when the president finally assumed office, one of the first official functions he played was to receive the reports, the oral report, which is a compilation of complaints, and hand them over to the Attorney General. So that is when the official criminal proceedings or process would be deemed to have started. And so that is what happened. Now, let me take my time to explain this. The criminal procedure has several steps in it. So the first one, like I said, is the complaint that people make. When they made a complaint, then we conduct investigations. Now, after investigation, that's the second stage. After investigation, the investigative agencies or the investigators would have to bring what we call a docket or investigative report to the Attorney General to now examine. Now, the Attorney General or the prosecutor, we examine these, investigative reports and dockets, and then we identify gaps in them, because the investigators are not necessarily prosecutors, they are not necessarily lawyers. So they give you information. We have found this, we have found a knife, we have found a cutlass, we have found mobile phone. So we will now have to piece this information together and make sure that it forms a seamless line or connection of allegations and evidence that can lead to prosecution. So once they bring the investigative reports, we examine it, and it's a lot of back and forth. So they bring it, we say, no, there's a gap here, go and look for this evidence to fill in this gap. They go again, they bring it, we identify another one. So it's a lot of back and forth. So if you had come here, if you stay here longer, after this interview, I'm going to meet with investigative agencies. They will bring their reports, we examine them, and then we'll tell them to go back to fill in the gap. We do that until we get a docket which we can take to court. Then when you get a docket, that is when you now file charges.
Asen South Member of Parliament, Reverend John Fojo, has expressed disappointment on President Mahama's failure to support the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill. According to Reverend Fojo, the bill is crucial for addressing concern over shifting societal norms while safeguarding traditional family values. He urged the president to remain true to his words and honor his commitment to the bill. Reverend Fojo's reaction comes after he reveals the government suggestion.
Whether before it is passed or after it is passed, if he so thinks that he even needs to introduce some more robust legislation to serve the larger purpose of preserving the values of Ghana, preserving the values of society, and augmenting on the binary nature of gender, that any person is born a boy or a girl, and that's when you are to marry. Marriage is between a man and a woman. Those basic principles and any such propagation and advocacies and those that seek to even make lesbianism, LGBT and all its allies and dimensions more attractive, totally misleading young people and leading them astray. Any legislation that will cure that is further welcomed, but that will not come to replace the importance and necessity of this bill. If the president was so committed to introducing government-sponsored bill, this is the 11th month. There have been many leading to about 100 bills that have been brought to this house, and we have passed. Some were even brought in midnight. We stayed here midnight and passed them under certificate of urgency. So if this bill was that important to him, and indeed is not mere rhetoric and is something he's committed to, we would have introduced this government-sponsored bill. He has said it time and time again. Has he brought it? So let him bring it. But he bringing it, we will all support. When President Mahama brings a government-sponsored bill to the stature of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, we will all support. But that will not take away the importance that this bill is going to serve. So let all support, let's pass it. As and when President Mahama wants to introduce his government-sponsored bill, we will support that legislation as well to come and even support and reinforce what we have begun.
Member of Parliament for Efutu constituency, who doubles as the minority leader, Alexander Penyomakin, emphasizes the need of impartial justice. He cautioned against selective application of justice, where critics face harsh penalties, while people close to power receive lenient treatment. He urged the government to observe transparency and accountability to all people.
Prosecuted and sentenced to 7 months in prison. Much as the law must be applied, we must ask, is the state equally swift when government-affiliated individuals commit similar or worse infractions? Not long ago, this incident, not long before this incident, during the Akwetia by-election, the NDC National Vice Chairman, Sofo Azoka, openly declared that there will be by-election in my constituency. That was a threat, plain and simple. Unlike in the case of Kwame Nkrumah II, the police have not taken action. Mr. Speaker, why is there no urgency on this matter? Why the speed in one case and silence in another? Justice must be seen to be done. Justice cannot be harsh on critics and lenient on those.
He also expressed concern over the current state of Ghana's democracy. He questioned whether the country is heading towards a regression into intolerance. The minority leader made the statement in response to recent events about political intolerance and the rule of law. He encouraged transparency, accountability, and civic engagement in ensuring the country's democratic progress.
Exemplify a pattern of harassment intended to silence dissent. They paint a troubling picture of a shrinking civic space in our democracy. Even more disturbing, young Ghanaians expressing frustration on social media have been targeted, questioned, and in some cases detained. The question we ask as a minority is this the reset we were promised, or an era of regret?
In business, the Bank of Ghana has directed GCB Bank to suspend dividend payment to its shareholders after the bank temporarily breached the central bank's single limit regulation. In a statement issued on October 20th, GCB Bank said the decision follows ongoing engagement with the regulator after the reclassification of restructured cocoa bills into long-term bonds. The conversation, according to the bank, altered the prudential treatment of cocoa bills under existing regulatory guidelines, leading to a temporary non-compliance that prevented the central bank from granting a no objection for dividend distribution. The suspended dividend payment had been approved at GCB Bank's annual general meeting on May 2nd for the final year ending December 31st. GCB explained that cocoa bills were previously treated as treasury bills for prudential purposes, but their reclassification into long-term bonds inadvertently pushed the bank beyond the single exposure limit, a rule designed to curb excessive lending and investment concentration in a single borrower sector. The bank says it is working closely with the Bank of Ghana to resolve the matter and restore full compliance. GCB expressed regret over any inconvenience caused to shareholders, but reaffirmed its commitment to sound governance, financial stability, and investor protection. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Asiama, says one of his top priorities is to end the long-standing reliance on the US dollar for domestic transactions. He wants to make Ghana cedi the sole currency of trade and payment in the country. Speaking in an interview with the IMF at the ongoing IMF World Bank Spring meetings in Washington, D.C., Dr. Asiama said that de-dollarization has become central to achieving monetary and price stability. He described the persistence of dollar use in Ghana's economy as a structural weakness that undermines the effectiveness of monetary policy. My mandate is to achieve price and financial stability. It's been 8 months and I believe we are on course. We are on course towards achieving that. A couple of things to border. First of all, the issue of dollarization. I have seen this for more than 30 years. The phenomenon has been, and so we are tackling it, he said. Dr. Asiama disclosed that the central bank will use the upcoming cedi at 60 celebration to launch a renewed campaign promoting exclusive use of the local currency in all transactions. The local currency will be 60 years old this year, and we want that to mark a new beginning. He stressed that reducing dollar dependence will be one of the key legacies he hopes to leave behind. Dr. Pandit also outlined a broader vision for the Bank of Ghana, emphasizing the need for institutional agility and to keep pace with global financial evolution. He cited the rise of fintech and cryptocurrencies as new areas of risk requiring proactive regulation. Dr. Asiama said his goal is to position the central bank as a forward-looking institution capable of responding to emergency risk with confidence and flexibility. To sports, La Liga has cancelled plans to hold a regular season match between Villarreal and Barcelona in Miami in December. In August, the Spanish Football Federation approved plans to move Villarreal fixture against Barcelona to Hard Rock Stadium on 20th December, a decision that sparked discontent in Spain. The plans to hold a top-flight game outside Spain for the first time faced a huge backlash, with players refusing to move for the first 15 seconds. Promoters of the match, Relevant, state the reason for the cancellation is because insufficient time it is to organize the event, with the La Liga also citing the uncertainty in Spain. The match will now be held at Villarreal as originally scheduled. The decision to cancel the match in Miami was announced during Villarreal's 2-0 Champions League defeat at home by Manchester City. And that is how we end it for now on the morning news broadcast. Do watch to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news updates. I am Deborah Dawes, so do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinam Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, number one.
Good morning once again. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And as you know it, I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu. Sitting with me right here in the studios is Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. So right here, right now, we are just going to be looking at some news headlines and share our opinion about it before we come in for the main discussion of the day with our guests. Good morning once again, Miss Debbie, Miss Regina. We are back again.
Good morning.
We are back. Smile. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Hope all is well.
Yeah.
I think I already asked you already. Mm-hmm. That's fine. So let's look at some news items. All right. So right here I have from City Newsroom. Backbench calls for annual leave for MPs, citing strain on family life. Speaker of Parliament Alban Kingsford Backbench has proposed that members of Parliament be granted official leave periods, highlighting the intense demands of the role and its impact on personal and family life. Addressing the House in Accra on Tuesday, October 21st, Backbench pointed out that while MPs are often perceived as being on break during recess, they continue to carry out their parliamentary duties in their constituencies with no real time for rest. MPs don't go on holidays or vacation. They recede to continue to do the work of MPs, he explained. I think it is something that we have to consider because the Labour Act expects that. You should also have some leave. It is done all over the world. The Speaker expressed concern over how the demanding nature of parliamentary work affects lawmakers' relationships and well-being. Those of us who have sacrificed all these years, we know how our families have been destroyed because you never have time for your family. You never have time for people dear to your heart, the people that you grew up with, and sometimes they don't spare you, he said. Backbench encouraged his colleagues to begin discussions, both within Parliament and with stakeholders outside, to explore the possibility of MPs having designated leave days. Please, let's think over it. Discuss it with your neighbors outside Parliament and at least get a few days to have some breathing space, if not to rest, but to share love with your immediate family members. Yeah, so in the Labour Act, it is a sign that every worker should have leave. Every institution should give a resting period for their workers, for their employees. And now, Backbench is also proposing that Parliament should also have that, because this is something that is practiced all over the world, that every worker or everyone working in any institution is entitled to have leave. Do you agree with this proposal that Member of Parliament should be given leave days?
Okay, so with this one, I agree with them.
Oh, nice.
You see, we are humans. You cannot overwork yourself. Exactly. And I know they don't really go to Parliament every day, but you're supposed to have time with your family. Most of these members of Parliament are not currently in Accra, or they don't have residence in Accra. Most of them lives in the northern region, like the Tamale and other constituencies. By any time Parliament is in session, they have to come all the way from Tamale or all the way from the southern part of the country and then book a hotel and then sit in for the duration that the Parliament will, till they are done with whatever they want to treat in Parliament, and then they go back. So I feel like, yes, they are supposed to go on. Going on break doesn't mean you will not work.
You will not work.
Actually, you are not working alone. You are an MP, but then you have an MC. You have a DC. You still have people under you that work with you. So you're on break, but you are still working. When Parliament was not in session, we were still hearing people talk. Most of these members of Parliament were invited by media houses. So in a way, you're also helping out. So it's not as if you going to the house, you're not going to work. You're still going to work, but it's like you're coming home, you're meeting with family members, and then, the work still continues. So let's take, for instance, I'm not trying to remind anybody of their pain, though, but the people we lost during the helicopter crash, Muntala Mohammed, like this, is not in Accra. He's a member of Parliament in Tamale. So he will only come to Accra if Parliament is in session. And when it's done, he will have to go back to wherever he's coming from. You don't stay in Accra because in Accra, Tamale, the people of Tamale voted for you. So you have to be in that constituency and ensure that everything is going on well. And then I'm sure maybe he didn't get to see the wife even for the last time before going to have this plane crash. So I feel like it's about time they have to schedule their time and then fix in a period where they can actually have a time with their family. Family is everything, trust
Family
me.
is everything.
And as much as you are supposed to do your work and do it well, you still have to spend time with family.
With family, right. Ms. Eugenia, what can you say? What do you think of his proposal that MP parliamentarians should be given a leave?
Yeah, so leave is one essential part of every employee's package, and employers need to make sure that they inculcate it in everyone's time or everyone's contract. When you were reading it, you said which is experienced or which is done worldwide.
Practice all over the world.
It is not practiced worldwide. Like, I said, Western countries, no more dear. If you don't give it, guys, it's a crime.
It's a crime.
But
and
Ghana
even right here in Ghana too, I think it's a crime, but it's not enforced.
It's not enforced. And even the employers themselves do not even care about these people. All they care about is what you are bringing. And you are trying your best, Crampo. Your best is not even enough for them. All they are thinking about is the thing that at the end of the month they are giving you your salary, so that is enough. It's not enough. And you giving salaries to your employees doesn't mean that you are doing them a favor. They also worked for you and you are paying them for their services. So sometimes they should take out that perception that they own these people. Yes, so with that being said, no, leave is very important. I don't know, but I think I've seen instances where parliament are even still in session at 12 a.m., 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So I think that it's really important. Leave is very important and it needs to be inculcated in everyone's contract, regardless of labor or no labor act. Everyone needs rest, and I think if you don't even have rest, you are stressing the body, you are stressing your mind, and also you are stressing everything around you. Yeah.
Right. So parliamentarians also deserve to be on leave. Right. I think that'll be all for now. Yeah. We'll be going for a quick break, and once we're back, we'll be back with the main discussion. Thank you.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. A good morning to you wherever you are listening to us and watching us from the studios of GhanaTalks Radio. My name is Pakwesi Omare, your regular host for your most beautiful conversations every morning you can have in the capital of Accra, Ghana. This morning we are going to have some, as usual, enlightening conversations, and I'm pleased and honored to have Mr. Emmanuel Chambers in the studios with me, who speaks for the NPP, and later on the NDC's communicator will be joining the conversations in the studios as well. So many things have been going on around the city. I don't know what Ima would have to say about that. But Ima, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're fine.
I'm doing very good. We are worried about you. Looking at your preparations and all that towards the funeral, it hasn't been easy.
I mean, I don't remember the last time I even caught 30 minutes. I won't even call it a sleep, a nap.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I don't, yeah.
I can imagine your stress.
Yeah, I'm very,
I
very
had to
stressful.
swallow.
But yeah, but I mean, we thank God we are almost there.
Exactly. Exactly.
May His soul rest in peace once
Amen.
again.
Amen.
But Anima, have you read through the charges of the NSS against Gift Yoware? The NSS scandal.
I read through it. I went through it. Yes.
What do you really have to say about that? I mean, it happened under your government. She was an appointee under your government. So,
Well, I don't really want to have a double stand on this matter.
Okay.
Clearly on this matter, I believe that whoever has embezzled the state money, the person should not be allowed to go free based on your political affiliations. My worry is, why should the government allow an individual to go to that extent? I mean, embezzled money to that extent. I think it's a big disgrace on her part. That is the fact that if she's really aware the allegations leveled against her, if those allegations are true, then it's a big disgrace. And it's something I always condemned. That as a government appointee, it's a call to serve the people and you should live an exemplary life and not to sit on the resources of the country to please your own selves. That is very unfortunate. But I want to say that even in a case, MPP never noticed this during their regime, and that NDC or a new government have noticed it, they should allow the due processes to flow. I don't want it, or I won't be surprised to hear one day that whatever or charges leveled against her was not clear and the processes involved were not, standard. And so I would say that, yes, if she's guilty, they should look at it. What really happened? They should listen to the side of her story. And then when she explains herself and the courts feels they feel that it's not right, she has gone against the law, then the law should come after her. That is one thing I can say. Yeah.
Last, is it Sunday or Monday? It was Monday. The Deputy Attorney General came to speak, and he spoke about the Kenoforiata issue and how the OSP is, going about it, and it is raising concerns and suspicions that probably the OSP is even shielding Kenoforiata from accountability, because how long has it been now? Almost 9 months, and we still haven't had. You put a red notice on him, you take it off, you declare him wanted, you do this, you do that. Charlie, what is really going on?
I might not be able to speak to it much, but the few I can say about it is that the issue of the OSP and Kenoforiata, it's an issue that outside players should not be interested so much in getting into it.
Okay.
The Deputy Attorney General is not trying to assume the work of the OSP. Anyways, maybe he's expressing a concern.
Okay.
But I feel like they should maybe they should allow OSP to do his due investigations.
Okay.
Of course, the absence of Ken Ofori-Atta, we all know the circumstances around it, where he has mentioned he's not feeling fine and he's receiving treatment in a different country. And you know the laws in different countries. The gentleman is not really feeling fine.
Okay.
You understand? And it isn't that, I think they have filed a motion against him also, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is a case that needs urgent and responsible steps to handle it. It's a matter that we don't have to rush into it. At the end of the day, he's a Ghanaian. He's a citizen of this country. He cannot run, and he can't run to anywhere unless otherwise he decided to take away his life. And even if he decides to take away his life, by the nature of our laws, he can still be tried in courts, right?
Sure.
Therefore, I would like to say that there's no layer in this case.
Okay.
But for one thing I know, the former Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, I think he's very, very free. For me, I don't think there's something serious around him.
Really?
All he was called to do is to serve the nation. And maybe he has served the nation, and maybe probably there were some kind of lapses. And you see all these issues coming up, if you look at it carefully, there were issues that pop up during the days of COVID-19. You understand?
Yeah.
And I haven't found any substantial allegation against him. If you read through, and if you read what some NDC officials are calling for against Ken Ofori-Atta, yes, I am not saying that he should not be taken on if maybe probably somewhere along the line we've felt that he has embezzled the state's money or property. You know, my position on this investment is that I always stand against it.
Yeah.
And I will forever submit myself to this nation. Should I, in any case, involve myself in any investment? You understand? And so why will I promote it? At the end of the day, it is better Ghana we want. So Ken Ofori-Atta is a gentleman I know. They should allow him to recover. And when he regains his health, the courts can carry out their duties. But for someone appointed or someone seated somewhere pushing and directing the office of special prosecutor to do what? To do his duties or discharge his duties that he's already doing, it's kind of unfortunate. Are you saying that the OSP is resting on this case?
Well,
we were here when the OSP declared Ken Ofori-Atta fugitive. Later came back and denied that statement. We're in this country.
Oh, did he deny it? He didn't.
Initially, he denied. And so when, the issue is that Ken Ofori-Atta really came to this country, right? When the OSP declared him fugitive, he came to this country. I don't know if you're aware. Oh, he didn't come to the country.
No, he didn't.
But his lawyers represented him, right?
Yeah, the lawyers came.
They did represent him. In any case, he was there.
No, he wasn't.
In any case, I don't.
You see,
what
I've learned,
before you allow your lawyer to go and represent you in court, it means that the lawyer is standing in for you.
I'm coming. What I have learned about law regarding these cases is that, and especially when it's a criminal case, once it's a criminal case, the first hearing demands your presence. Your lawyers,
first hearing.
Yeah, your lawyers can speak.
And that is where the gentleman in question is sick. The person is sick and receiving treatment, not even in this country, outside country. Have you factored that in? Does the law say that once you are sick, you cannot even breathe? In fact, you are on oxygen, you should be brought before court. What if you lose your life? Have you taken into that effect as well?
But he's been out of the hospital for months now, and he's been out.
No, that is what people say, and that's my issues with some of these NDC journalists.
How?
I don't know if you have evidence to the fact that he's been out from the hospital. Has he told you he's been out?
His own lawyers has come out to say he's out now, but he's now recovering. He's out of the hospital.
He is simple. If I'm admitted at the hospital and that the hospital has given me some days to rest in the house and come back, that doesn't mean that I'm fully recovered. The person is receiving treatment.
Did you see his picture? Was it last week or last 2 weeks? With a backpack on his back, walking across the street?
Walking across the street does not necessarily mean the person is fit enough. No, you see, I don't want it to be like I'm trying to, dodge certain questions of yours. Not at all.
Sure, I get you.
But the thing is, we need to face the reality. I am speaking for Kenneth Oriata because he's right to go and seek for medical attention.
Sure.
NDC, she had been an NDC person. That is the same way I would have spoke.
Okay.
You understand? So I don't want it to be like because Kenneth Oriata is an MPP, Ima is here defending him. No, no, not at all.
You see, the argument people are having with the OSP now is this. You see, once the OSP touches an issue, the Attorney General's office can't touch it. That is one. No, second.
Once the OSP,
he touches an issue, the Attorney General can't touch it unless the OSP himself hands it over to him.
So is the let me come in. Is the Deputy Attorney General now asking for the OSP to transfer the case to them?
See, when it comes to extradition process, the OSP can't let's say initiate that. It will only take the state Attorney General to do that.
Okay.
So they've requested for his dockets to begin extradition process.
Okay.
Now the OSP is saying the dockets are not ready. So on which grounds did the OSP declare him wanted? If your dockets are not ready, if your evidence is not ready.
So that's the controversy. That is it. So that is why you should know better that maybe somewhere along the line, the allegations, like I keep saying, those things they have said about Kenneth Oriata might turn out to be lies.
What if that is a might right now? Sure. It might also be that because the OSP was appointed by the NPP, in fact, it was recommended by Gabi Ochredako to the president to appoint him. He came into office under such recommendations. And Gabi is a direct cousin to Kenneth Oriata. So he also holds that allegiance to Gabi and Ken. So he's shielding him. That might also be.
That is what you have joined people to say, or that's your suggestion?
Well, you also said something right now. So can I also say that is also you have also joined people to say, or that's your suggestion?
Specific on this matter, I don't think that should be the issue, that the OSP is trying to sit on certain matters. So and that is why he has not gone ahead.
So what do you think?
For me, if this is what people are saying, I might not speak to it much. I might not speak to it much. But one thing I know for sure is that the OSP, somewhere along the line, he's doing his job. For if there's a very tight relationship between the OSP and Kenneth Oriata, I don't think the OSP will say somewhere to describe him fugitive. You saw it, right? And for someone to be described as a fugitive, you know the implications of it. This person has a family, and family members read all this and friends read it. So for OSP to describe someone fugitive, then you finally come to tell us that they are covering him because he has a closed link with the Kenneth Oriata or whoever. I don't think that is true.
Okay.
We should not, dig into it. If that is what the public thinks, it is normal for the public to think that way. But for me, where I sit, I just want to conclude that the OSP somewhere along the line is doing his job. Okay. Appointed by NPP or referred by NPP or recommended by NPP, that's not the case here. Okay. You have seen how some of our guys have suffered under this OSP, the same OSP. To me and Co. What didn't happen? You understand? But this case, one thing I've realized about the OSP is that they have to make sure that they go through every process step by step, so that they don't get themselves
wanting.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. And that was just by the ways. Now let's get into the main conversations. When your counterpart joins in, he will also follow through with the conversation. Democracy Hub
Very well.
We all know what they champion, and one of the most vocal group of activists we have in the country. They hold the government very, very much accountable. And this time around, they are in court seeking an injunction on a particular matter. Now let's break down this matter. We know what Galamsey is doing to us as a country.
Sure.
One of the things we have come to realize about Galamsey is that most of it is funded by foreigners, and we are speaking of the Chinese. Now, these Chinese come in with lots of money to sponsor these menace. They come in with equipment to do same. Government is now clamping down on Galamsey and those involved in it. Now, when government arrests Ghanaians, they are being persecuted and jailed. But with the foreigners, they say they are deporting them. Now, Democracy Hub is saying that they don't agree to such arrangements. Why should the foreigner come from their homes and their countries, destroy our water bodies and our lands, and when they are caught, we only deport them? What does that make? We are jailing our people by deporting foreigners? Is there not any better way we could handle foreigners involved in Galamsey rather than just deporting them? In fact, we were here when Aisha 1 was deported, and within a week or two, we saw her back in the country. So what will this deportation really, really do?
It's a big issue. this country. Hey, honestly, I am happy this time around. It's not MPP or minority in Parliament calling on the government to decline their decision of deporting foreigners who are heavily engaged in Galamsey. You see, the matter before us is a constitutional matter.
Okay.
And it needs some kind of urgent steps. And when you are delving into that matter, you need to be very careful. As for the issue of Galamsey, we are all tired of talking about it. You see, we talk and no any measures is taken in place. If you listen to them carefully, they have clear reasons for telling the government to allow these foreigners engaging in Galamsey to go through some, prosecutions in this country before deporting them. This is our country. We have a lot of innocent citizens employed by these foreigners who are in jail now, to understand, because of Galamsey activities. But the engineers of it, people that are promoting Galamsey, you arrest them and deport them peacefully.
Okay.
Why? Are they above the law? They are not above the law. If you read Article 19 of our Constitution, and if you read the minerals and then minerals and mining Act 206, that's it. I think Act 703. It's clear, and that, of course, whether you are a foreigner or you are a citizen engaging in illegal mining, the law should come after you. If you are a foreigner and you are found within the territory of Ghana and you have committed a crime, you are supposed to go through prosecution. But this is where the government has decided not to pay attention to all those things. I think the government should do us better by making sure that I learned about 107 Chinese have already been deported. I think before the interlocutory injunction came in, about 107 Chinese have already been deported. This is clear indications that the government is having a direct link with these Chinese people who are involved in Galamsey. Quote me anywhere. Is it not clear that the current government is promoting Galamsey?
Really?
If you go to buy gold directly from Galamseyers and you come to tell me you don't promote Galamsey, what are you doing?
Okay.
You see, so the people are just not asking for too much. They are asking the government to relook at their decision.
Okay.
And I am disappointed in the current Minister for Justice and Attorney General.
Okay.
The Ghana Immigration Service, as well as the Interior Minister. This thing happened in in 2018, when the Aisha, I can't pronounce the other Chinese name, was deported. We heard the take and the stand of Mubarak Mutala, is it Muntaka? We listened to him. He made a lot of comments and was against it. But recently, he is championing that all the foreigners should be deported. They should not go through the court process. What is it? What are they hiding? Something you claimed was bad in few days ago, you are seeing it as clean as anything today. You see, so for me, if that's what the issue is, then it's unfortunate. The government must make sure the law works.
Okay.
Enough of these manipulations. I don't know what the government is trying to achieve. For as we said now, there is no anything going on in this country we can stand on it to point out and say that no, the judicial system is better for us.
Okay.
Not at all. The people have been arrested just like ordinary citizens. Let them go through some kind of prosecutions in the country.
Okay.
And if indeed they are wrong, if indeed they have really committed a crime, the same laws or the same punishment you are giving to the citizens should be applied to the foreigners as well. We can't continue to tolerate that. Do you think someone can just get up from this country, run into China and start mining in China, and then when the Chinese government realize it, they will just deport the person without any charges?
I even learned that in China, the penalty for illegal mining is death.
And so that is why they have the opportunity to run into Ghana. And then
because our laws are weak.
Not just our laws are weak. You see, under this government, no law is effective. The constitution, I keep saying this, the constitution have its say, and the government have their own way.
But there's Chinese people. Did they only arrive in this country under this government?
But the activities of the Galamsey has been tripled by Chinese, by this government.
Really?
Of course, you know.
Let me ask you something. Under your government, under your administration, how many Chinese people or foreigners did you really arrest?
So, you see, when the MPP decided to fight against Galamsey, they did it holistically.
How?
They did not select and fight, just like what the NDC government is doing.
So the NDC is selecting.
You and I know.
I'm only asking you.
Is it only one person that is engaging in Galamsey in this country? Is it only one person? Is it only Chamawu to me? No, you should tell me.
Why are you asking that?
No, I am asking you a question. Okay. Is it only Chamawu to me that is engaging in Galamsey?
I'm not sure.
You are not sure?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fine. But why is the government after Chamawu to me alone? Have you thought of that?
But have you read the charges against him?
You see,
he actually, his company single-handedly destroyed an entire forest reserve and an entire water body.
That's what they claim. And are you saying that he's the only person that is destroying the water bodies in this country? Is that what you are saying? The current government have a percentage they derive from the Chinese guys. And I'm telling you, within days, you see the 107 people deported. Very soon, you will hear that they are in this country.
Oh, really?
Oh, this government, the government is not ready to fight against Galamsey. Okay. They want to make money from it.
Okay.
Now they are adding some other resources like Azuma resources, black voter to some government top officials in this country. It's something I just look at it and sometimes I laugh. I don't know whether the government feels like, come on, we don't read the laws. The laws are clear on this matter. The laws are clear on this matter. The government have no right to deport the foreigners. They have no right to deport the foreigners. Once we have our laws here, you allow foreigners to come in and destroy our water bodies. And let me say this, I keep saying it. The good people of this country voted massively against MPP because they felt that MPP didn't do well, which includes Galamsey. Maybe we didn't fight Galamsey well. So why are they repeating those mistakes the MPP made? Okay. Is it the best way to go by things? Obviously, no.
Okay.
Specific on this matter. Galamsey, if we have to fight against Galamsey, we must make sure that whichever laws is applied to the citizens should be applied to
the foreigners.
The foreigners.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hamda. Welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Give thanks to the Almighty Allah.
Okay. So, I mean, as you walked in the conversations we're having, Democracy Hub is in court against your government on his decision or their decision to deport the foreigners who are involved in Galamsey, and especially the Chinese. Because they don't understand why when we arrest our people, we jail them, but when we arrest foreigners, we only deport them. What is the rationale behind this particular decision by your government to deport foreigners who are in our country, destroying our water bodies, causing mayhem, and this is like a genocide, this is like death, because look at the waters that we are drinking now. They come from their countries. They can't do it there, but they come here to do it. And when we arrest them, we only let them go. Why?
All right, Pakosi, first of all, let me say a very good morning to you, and also to your cherished listeners, and all those following us on our media platforms, that is via Facebook and also through YouTube. With this particular issue, this is not the very first time it's coming up. Somewhere in January, or was it February? Yes, the Interior Minister made a statement concerning this particular case. Yes, and I think extensively it was widely discussed towards some TV stations and also some radio stations with this same issue. For me, I don't want to talk much, but let me just touch it small so that we'll move on.
Okay.
You see, with regards to this, I think both NDC and also MPP have not done well when it comes to this particular issue. For me, where I sit, I'm an NDC guy, but sometimes when the truth lies, you need to speak it as it is. You see, just like you said, it's very unfair for you to deport foreigners who are engaged, or let me say, who are widely known as financiers of this particular Galamsey. Once leaving those let me say, our locals to suffer the consequences. You see, we're in this country. When I was coming, I was observing through. You made mention of Aisha Wang. During the MPP era, she was deported, and within a twinkle of an eye, she was already back to the country. Only God knows how she was able to get in. Whether she bribed immigration officers, whether she was able to do it through the party nationals, that's the MPP executives, or whether she has her own means of coming back to the country.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we realized that she was back, and it was widely alleged that some MPP guys or gurus was engaged in her coming back.
Okay.
And let me just put it on. She's the only person that is known to have been deported, and she made her way back to the country. But thousands, or let me say thousands of those who have been deported, or let me just put it like those who have been deported, most of them, especially the Chinese, has been coming back to the country.
Really?
Exactly. You see, sometimes those people, they are very familiar. You see, Ghana,
you can't even
differentiate them. The person will go and come back with a different name.
But I mean, that is why we've advanced with this biometric processes of, getting to know our identities and all. So
it's kind of impossible for someone to use another person's name to come into this country.
Very impossible. But I mean,
very impossible.
Biometric identification is widely under possession in Ghana here. So how does this people still make it in the country? Because when you get to the airport, I mean, you are definitely going to be verified by your...
Exactly.
So how?
See, that's the issue and I have to ask ourselves. In Ghana, there's a lot to be done.
Ghana is a miraculous country.
But currently Ghana is a different country now. Currently Ghana is a different country.
Oh wow, it's a better country now.
He knows.
No,
it's a better country.
Which better country?
Please,
which one?
When is your turn? You can make your point. But for now, let me focus on what I'm saying.
I'm just producing vibes.
The very reason why we threw this MPP government out was because of these same issues. And here he's saying that Ghana is a different country. I don't know why he couldn't say same when MPP was in power. But let me move on with the point I'm making.
Sure.
See, when you go to these foreign countries, let me say, my brother here, he once wanted to go to Canada, but unfortunately it backfired. So let me say, if he was able to make it to Canada, and at the end of the day, he was found in some credit card fraud or maybe some fraud, and it happens that charges was filed against him. He won't be deported back to the country simply because he's a Ghanaian. He would have been sentenced to serve whatever terms that is given to him.
Exactly.
You see, so same thing should be applied in Ghana.
Okay.
I don't see the reason why somebody coming from the north to go to Takwa to mine, somebody coming from China to go to Takwa to mine, and at the end of the day, if these two people find gold, the Takwa person will be jailed, but that of the Chinese person will be sent back to the country. No, I think it's very wrong. So Democratic Hub, I think the charges or whatever injunction they are filing is on a good note and is something that has to be really looked at.
Okay.
For me, where I sit, I think we should take a look at it. And Honorable Muntaka, that's the Minister for Interior, he has been solid, he has been wonderful, and when it comes to his performances, we've all seen that he has been delivering. But with this particular one, I think he should take a real look at it, because it's very unfair towards Ghanaians for you and I, let me say a foreigner and a local, to be in a galamsey pit where it's widely known that these foreigners finance the galamseys, and at the end of the day, the foreigner will be deported and that of the local will then be jailed for. It's very unfair.
Okay.
That's what I just have to say about it. But you see, one way or the other, sometimes when it comes to policies, policy formulations, some of us at the back door don't actually have the focal point, or let me say the critical eye when it comes to certain things. And policy formulators, when there's a need for them to implement this, I think they should relook at the constitution, because it has stated it clearly and categorically that if any person is found in a galamsey activity, the person should be jailed. Be it you are a local or a foreigner. So if it's widely known that this particular means or this particular tangent that we are moving on is not helping us as a nation, we should relook at it. Then that particular policy should be put on the table and everybody should judge, and at the end of the day, a better decision should come to serve the country altogether.
All right, thank you, Hamda. Now let's look at our next topic for discussion.
But can I respond to?
Sure.
Or there's no time.
Sure, you can go on.
I want to make some response to this. It's quite unfortunate that my brother here decided to link this topic to the MPP and whatever happens. But that is okay. But for me, I believe that this issue of deporting 107 Chinese to their countries, I think this is the first time. Well, I've researched around it. I've not seen anywhere where this large number of people have been deported, all because they're engaged in galamsey. No. And so this time around, it's becoming too much. Under the watch of the NDC, the current government, they allowed Chinese men to take off all over the galamsey areas, and not just in galamsey alone, some other areas or sectors, important sectors. And I think they have a lot contributing to the government and the citizens. And so for me, I believe that if the government, and thank God he was even he was not biased like some of the other NDC communicators. They would have been shouting here and making a whole lot of noise when they were just supposed to speak to the matter. So now we are all calling on the government to look at the issue carefully. The Attorney General, the Interior Minister, and Ghana Immigration Service should look at this matter carefully. It's a matter that undermines the democratic pillars of this country. So they should do well, look at it carefully, and make sure that those people are prosecuted. They should not just send them back to their countries.
Okay.
But Paco, see, let me chip in small. When I was coming, my brother made mention that Go Board purchases gold from illegal miners, and that is why, like, our gold reserve and the numbers that Go Board is doing is very wonderful.
Let me state emphatically what he said. He said that the government is actually benefiting from illegal mining. So that is why
so much, so much, which he knows.
When you are speaking to a certain point, you need to have your evidences.
And I have my evidence.
As it stands now, there's no single person in this country who can point out that the Go Board, that NDC, the great NDC, has actually brought.
I have my evidence. So I don't think you need to speak much.
You can tender it to Paco if you have evidence.
Look, you see,
because even
what's your evidence?
you see, when you go to TikTok, there are. I'm coming. It's very serious. There are.
Imagine.
No. I'm serious. There are Galamsey TikTok accounts, and those boys, those boys, when they go to the Galamsey areas, they assemble the gold until they get to a ton of a certain quantity. When they aggregate it and get to a certain quantity, then they sell. They are saying that government is buying the gold at low price as compared to what other people are buying. I mean, the foreigners are buying. So it means that the government is taking the gold away from them. If you go to TikTok, you see all those things. And I'm telling you,
Paco, how can you say this is an evidence? Simply because a Galamsey alleges that the government comes to buy. You, for instance, you can be a Galamsey here. None of us will know.
I am not. It's very indecent for me to engage in Galamsey.
You are an MPP communicator. When you find yourself at the peak there, definitely you want to allege that NDC is involved in buying.
I am saying that these are people who are saying it, and some knows about it. They buy gold directly from the Galamseyers. I am telling you the truth. They buy it. Oh, I am surprised. I am very surprised.
Will lead us into certain issues.
Just like you have been arresting people out there.
How can you say you have an evidence when they ask you to point out the evidence?
I am saying that the people themselves, there's no evidence. There's no evidence more than
have been there for a very long time. Why do you need to arrest them when you were in power?
I am saying that there is no evidence qualified or so. I mean, like vivid. Like,
so why should you allege it? If there's no evidence, why should you allege it?
Self-confession.
All these are rumors that is alleged by MPP guys. It's just recently that particular issue came up, and Sami Jemfi pointed it out to Kofi Benso or Bento, that particular man. He was the one who was first to allege it, and he put it to him. If you have any evidences, come out clearly and state it. And up from that time up till now, he hasn't been able to produce even a single evidence. Here you are today, also making the same allegations. When they ask you are saying we should refer to TikTok boys.
I am just telling you a clear example.
What can tell me that you are not a Galamsey boy? There's no differentiation between a Galamsey guy and a proper civilian. See, some of these Galamsey people, they are well resourced, like they are highly educated. I don't know, recently there was one particular Galamsey guy who was arrested, and he was like, he completed the University of Education, Winneba, a fully graduate. And when he was asked, why are you into Galamsey, that is because of the money. So some people, it's not like they are not doing well, they are doing very well, but because of the economic benefit, they choose to be in Galamsey. Let me tell you. See, I'm coming. Let me make a point. Let me make my point clear. You here, you can be financially endowed, but because you want to enrich yourself further, to go back to your constituency, it's absolute to contest for any executive position or contest for any parliamentary position, you choose to engage in Galamsey. And as an MPP guy, when later cases like this pop up, you want to allege that the government is involved in buying gold from illegal miners. That is very wrong.
I think
today, if at the end of the day they pick you up,
the point here
if at the end of the day they pick you up,
the point here is not about
NDC is abusing power. NDC is this, is that. Meanwhile, you alleges without evidences. Those are some of the things that put these young boys or some of our young guys into trouble. You don't have any evidence, and you and I know that before you allege this, you need to have substantial evidence, not even a partial evidence. Even in the court of law, you can be having
self-confession,
a voice recording of somebody, but that particular evidence may not be admitted in the court of law. So my brother, you see, the government, NDC government has actually chopped a lot of successes when it comes to the fight against galamsey. We are making progress, and that is why the president, the first gentleman of the nation, is saying that let's tackle it to a certain point, and when we are not seeing some results, then we proceed to declare the state of emergency.
Because you can't ask him this question. He said they are making progress. No, I'm coming. He said they are making progress.
See, when you take
can
a look
you please
at
ask him one progress they are making? And that is obvious to the Ghanaians that this is the progress they are making. The activities of Galamsey has been tripled, and you are saying that
interjecting. You see, sometimes I like it when you are debating and you see I allow you to make your point, and when it's my turn, I also make my point. It makes the debate very interesting. Unlike me speaking and you just come in and dismantle the whole conversation. It's
no, maybe I'm trying to assist.
Nice. No, I don't need your assistance. So, like I was saying, when you take a look at galamsey, this government has fight galamsey unprecedented. Unlike the MPP time when we've seen a director of operations at the Flagstaff House being directly involved in the galamsey. Today, NDC, the president, that's the president, John Dramani Mahama, has stated explicitly that if any of his party people is found in any galamsey, he himself will then proceed to take charges against that particular person, not even to talk of any government official. And we've seen that with that of NDC National Vice Chairman and that of NDC National Organizer. And also we've seen a lot of people where they brought up and they were sent to that of the competent jurisdiction for them to answer certain questions. That's just one. Again, we've seen that NDC, they've established an anti-galamsey operational secretariat. NDC, we've also been able to take down certain forest reserves when it was widely known. When you go there, it's like a community. Some of these galamsey peace or some of these galamsey places, they are even more populated than that of Zabzugu, where my brother is coming from. You see
this gentleman? If we want to listen to this story, he will continue until.
But wrap it up.
During MPP, they knew about these galamsey ties, but they choose to play ignorantly. They choose to play ignorantly because they were benefiting directly from these particular galamsey activities. When NPP was asked, they said party Yesika, simply because they want to chop and their stomachs will come. Today we've seen Salam Mustafa and co, like we've seen a lot of MPP former appointees where they've been, after serving their 4 terms, some their 8 terms, they've been able to build mansions, they've been able to buy a lot of properties. Meanwhile, prior to the winning of 2016, most of them couldn't even afford bicycle, talk less of a motorbike. But because of galamsey and party Yesika, today they've been able to do all for themselves.
Do you have evidence?
Do you need to ask evidence? Anyone listening to you know he's lying. So why would he need evidence? You don't even have evidence.
One of the leading members of MPP came out with a report. I don't know whether you still remember that particular report.
Which one?
The professor's report.
Oh, okay. Frimpong
Boati. Professor Frimpong Boati came out with a report, and most of these particular MPP executives was widely mentioned in this particular report, where they are engaged directly into galamsey. Even alleges that even the backyard of the president was used as a galamsey port. Today, these particular people still have the audacity to come on radio stations, to go to TV stations to talk about galamsey. You see, when we are talking about galamsey, it should be patriotic. When we are talking about galamsey, it should be unbiased. You see, when I started this conversation, I was unbiased towards it. these are some of the
That
approaches.
is, it's a law. It's a law. Just that the above has made. You've been speaking. When I'm going to
come,
let me wrap up.
I'm coming. Ima, you had some questions to ask him.
Yes.
I want you to proceed to ask him.
My first question is.
No, let him ask his question. Don't worry.
This is a cross examination. You can make this point when I finish.
Okay. Oh, you only want some clarification.
Yes, I just want to clarify why, if it says the current government is fighting against Galamsey.
Yeah, they are making progress.
They are making progress.
Want some specific indices to show the progress.
Exactly. And when he started mentioning things, I was just wondering and smiling inside. I asked myself, this gentleman. No. I have a point. You have to. I'm coming
around the bush.
I just wanted to know why the activities of Galamsey has been tripled.
But what shows that it has been tripled?
It has been tripled.
What shows?
If you look at the water bodies, the Environmental Protection Agency have stated that the current state of water in our environment is destroyed completely. Recently, we were also warned by the energy sector that the activities of Galamsey would undermine the energy sector. I hope you knew about it. These are all clear evidence, and these are coming from a world standard institutions.
Okay.
Yes, and the research around Galamsey indicated that within the 8 months, I'm coming.
These same institutions over the past have made the same points, and
but they are saying that within the 8 months,
they sat on national television to defend this. Dennis Miracle Abuachi, he was sitting on City News, that's Channel 1 now, defending Galamsey, and not long ago he went to one particular river to hold a press conference.
Not this a particular river, rivers.
These are double standard people. You see, just like he stated, most of these agencies came out clearly to indicate that our pH level has gone high. What was MPP saying about it? They did nothing, absolutely nothing. But today, because they've come out to clearly state it, they are saying that it has the activities when it comes to Galamsey has tripled. What is your data to back it? Sometimes when you are speaking,
we have the data. We just said
you need to speak clearly to certain things.
Okay.
And for my brother here, I think. He's coming up and he's doing well when it comes to propaganda. You can keep it up, but sometimes when you are speaking, you need to speak to facts.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'll just land here.
All right. Let's move on to our next topic. Do you know of engineers and planners?
Yes.
Yeah. Who owns it?
Engineers and planners. The CEO is Ibrahim Mahama, right?
Oh, okay. Yes. Do you know of Black Volta?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Yes. It's a foreign company that acquires. It's one. It's one of our natural.
Maybe Azuma's resources are Australia. We want to.
Black Volta is located in the Upper West. The Upper West region. That was where I had my tertiary education. I've been there for 5 years, and I must say it's a solid region. Yes. So the Black Volta Island is located in the Upper West region.
Okay. Yes. So it's one of our biggest mining hubs, natural resource hubs we have in the country, and it was being mined by, I think it was mined by Azuma Resource, right?
Yes, they acquired the concessions to mine it, but they've not proceeded to mine it.
Who, Azuma Resource?
Yeah.
They've been operating recently.
Azuma Resource have been there. Yeah,
they've been there.
The Black Volta concession is already there, but Azuma Resource were the people mining Black Volta.
They were mining it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And recently, or just some few days ago, we heard that, and Azuma Resource is a foreign company. Engineers and Planners is a local company. We've heard that finally, Engineers and Planners have been able to take over the Black Volta mines. How far does this go for us as a country, that we have our local company now mining our natural resources and no more foreigners mining our natural resources?
See, Pagosi, yes. But before I get into it, I've quite some time now I read that Azuma Resources couldn't start with the mining of the Black Volta, and that was the very reason why they have to transfer ownership. You see, some of these foreign companies, when they are engaging these mining things, some of them, they come to buy the concession, keep it for some time, and the value appreciate before they then sell it off, or they then come back to mine. So I think that was the case when it comes to the black voter. Yes, I think that was the case when it comes to the black voter. But you see, let me quickly state something.
Okay.
Let's look at some of the top countries when it comes to the gold reserves, our gold reserves. You see, when you take a look at the top countries, we have United States, we have Germany, we have Italy, we have France, we have Russia, we have China, we have Switzerland, India, Japan. These are some of the countries that have high gold reserves when it comes to their central banks. And if you take a look at the list, you realize I have not mentioned any African country. And you and I will affirm to the fact that African countries, we are the leading producers of gold when it comes to natural resources. Let me say, God Almighty has blessed us with natural resources, just like the way He blessed the Arabians with oil. When it comes to Africa, one of the things we can widely boast of is gold. But you see, with the list that I just mentioned, there's no single African country that can be found in this particular list. Meaning we are doing ourselves a great disservice. And coming to the point with engineers and planners acquiring that of the concession of Azuma resource. You see, it's about time companies in let me say if not Africa, or let me say Ghana, it's about our local companies should be empowered. Our local companies who have the capacity should be encouraged to go into some of these things. You see, sometimes these foreign companies, they will come in, mine the reserves, and at the end of the day, whatever that they get, they send it back to their country. Recently, we've seen what China has been doing. You and I don't know if you are somebody who is economically inclined or financially inclined. We've seen this recently. Sharply, gold price has increased from $3,000 to over $4,000, and that is how gold has been doing well. So some of these countries, they are widely engaged in some of these mining activities, and they buy more gold reserves. You've seen that the dollar has been weakening. Most central banks accumulate gold, or most central banks are now heavily involved in buying of gold, simply because it's now seen as one of the good commodities. You see, it's one of the precious commodity that cannot be do without. So most commercial banks and most countries has interest in buying gold. So these companies, where it's being financed by some of these foreign companies, when they come in, they mine everything and they leave us just like that, without anything to even boost our local economy. So it's about time we empower our local companies to take on these concessions. You see, some people, when they are looking at it, they will look at it in a critical, or let me say, they will look at it in a political eye, simply because the CEO for engineers and planners is that of the president's brother. But you see, this goes beyond that of politics. On one way or the other, me, for instance, as an individual, one day I would love to be doing heavy businesses. When I get money, you see, 100 million is not just any money. You see, individuals has money more than this, talk less of companies. So if a company is able to have 100 million to buy concession to mine, we shouldn't look at it in a political angle. We should rather look at it something that will empower local companies. You and I, when we were doing social studies back in primary schools, back in junior high, senior high school, one of the things that was highly being impacted or passed to us was, when we get the opportunity, we should empower our local companies. They will do well, they will employ more people, our economy will be boosted. Majority of our returns will remain in the country, and at the end of the day, it will develop our country. So this is the eye we should be looking at it, rather than the political eye, because at some point in time, it will motivate some of us. Me, for instance, one way or the other, if I get huge resources and some of these opportunities come, I will see it to be lightly, because some local companies has been able to mine some concessions
So
heavily.
I
can also go into it. It's an encouragement, and it's something that is motivating me as an individual or as a young person. So we shouldn't just look at it in that particular political angle. this particular move, I think it's a very good move. It has been a topic of discussion since the beginning of the year till now, and finally we are glad that they've finally concluded this particular deal. And majority of the money that was going to be paid has been paid to this foreign company. You see, at the end of the day, the company benefits. I'm sure they bought it twice or even 3 times lesser than the amount of money engineers and planners are paying them for this particular concession. Today they've been able to benefit, and whatever resources that they are getting is going back to their country. So for engineers and planners to come into this, for me, where I see it to be a good move. I see it to be a motivation. I see it to be an impact on our economy. I see it to be something that will encourage each and every Ghanaian to go on certain tangents. Yes, for me, Pakosi, this is what I just have to say about engineers and planners. Because gold, like I said, is one of the things that is heavily needed, and currently any commercial bank or any bank that is having gold is seen as one of the banks with good resources. Yes.
Thank you. Ima.
Yes, it's not easy. It's not easy. The point here is that we all saw the news that Ibrahim Mahama has taken over the black voter. One thing I am so much concerned about is the transparency existing in this process.
The transparency. Okay.
For me, where I sit, I don't know what has happened. It has not been discussed. The public don't even know what is going on. We only heard there is Ibrahim Mahama's, in fact, John Dramani Mahama's brother has taken over.
That's all you
taken over the black voter.
That's all you know.
That's all I know.
Okay.
The transparency is not clear, and it's not easy for an individual to secure $100,000 from ECOWAS Bank. It's not easy. Just like that, you harvested this money within a short period of time.
I'm coming.
No, I've not even started. No, I have my points.
Okay.
You understand? Now, recently, we all saw the struggle between the EMP and Azumen Resources.
Okay.
We all saw it. This was a case that has gone to court. They were referred to arbitration, and as of now, nobody knows whether they are, and I'm very sure and certain that the arbitration, they are not even done with their work. They are still on it. Right. So I think somewhere last month or two, we saw that the EMP came out and then put a message or put a statement that they have come in agreement with the Azumen Resources Ghana, and that they were going to buy the Azumen Resources. Now, within the shortest possible time, the Azumen Resources also replied that no, we have not had any agreement with these people. You understand? So that is what we all know. We know there's a very tight fight between these two groups. The next morning or the next day, we woke up to hear that the whole thing has been bought, and it's now belonging to one gentleman, not just a gentleman. In fact, a direct and blood family member to the president of the country. What a wow. I mean, what is happening in this country? People are questioning for the accountability. We have not, like the case of the telecell, the Airtel to go to the telecell. Nobody has a problem with it. But it's just the accountability, it's just the transparency.
Okay.
You can't go ahead, acquire the whole black voter. I mean, one of the resources in this country that supplies gold, that is expected to supply 163 ounces of gold to the government. You just go and deliver it just like that.
Okay,
the public. I'm coming. Let me come in. I know you want to talk. Let me say this.
No, you said a lot of things that needs questioning. So let's break it down. We have listeners listen to us.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So thank you very much. Sir. Now, you question the transparency.
The transparency.
Of the deal. Okay. Now let's take it from this angle. One, EMP as a country, we all know their weight and capacity.
This is a private company.
And
EMP.
we know their weight and capacity. EMP has executed deals and contracts way expensive than Azuma Resource Company.
Really?
Do you know that?
That is why you think, or that's why you know?
That is what I think, or that's what I know. Well, that is what I know.
That's what you know?
Yes, please. Now, secondly, Azuma Resource has been in debt for close to 3 years. So, do you know what they did? They approached EMP to become their financier in these years, whilst they prepare to sell the company over to EMP.
Okay.
So for the past 3 years or so, EMP has been the sole financiers of Azuma Resource. So they pay the workers, they pay the debts of the company.
And there was an agreement.
Yes, there was an agreement.
Do you know the agreement?
Yes, please, I know.
What is the agreement?
I just mentioned the agreement to you.
They pay the workers. At the end of the day, what goes to them? You can't just go in, start paying someone's workers.
That is why they had an agreement. If it's between two companies.
But
Azuma Resource, please, I'm coming. Azuma Resource won't come and publish what they are doing. In fact, did we know? Did Azuma Resource ever come out to say they are owing EcoBank? Did they ever come out to say it?
Well, I have not finished reading all their materials on social media.
So if you haven't finished reading all that, then you can't make a conclusion.
You see?
You understand me, sir?
I am not concluding.
You have. Because even though I am trying to elaborate it for you to get a better understanding, so you can make a pathway with it seems you are still already taking a stand, so you don't want to.
I am not completely taking a stand. I am worried about the Ghanaian people.
So, and the Ghanaian people, I'm coming. Please, I'm coming. The Ghanaian people, now, if a foreign company, first, let's look at our oil, the Tema Oil Refinery. You know that, right?
Very well.
Do you know how much percentage comes to Ghana? Do you know it's not even up to 15%?
Well, it is possible.
Okay. Yet it is for us. But when it is being mined, when it's being resourced, we are getting just little of it because it is a foreign company who is mining it. So if we have a local company mining it, is he taking the proceeds to another country?
You see, for me, I do not have an issue.
Are you sure?
I do not have much issue with EMP buying or taking over the Black Volta.
Okay.
Black Volta is for all of us. You are part, I am part.
Yes, please.
You understand?
Yeah.
Specific on this matter, we are so much concerned about the transparency. And as of now, we don't even know the games.
That is where I don't get you.
You should get it because we don't.
Are you looking for?
You see, things like this should be laid before Parliament. We should know what goes to the government. Of course, I'm right. We should know what goes to the government. What the government stands to benefit. You understand? We are saying this because in just some few days ago, I always like using this. We had friends from NDC shouting and calling the Nadu government of the previous government as friends and families government.
Okay.
Do you understand? They were calling the previous government as friends and families. What is happening now? Is this friends and enemies?
Okay, I'm coming. Please, I'm coming. Azuma Resource, when in debt, when their company was almost taken away from them.
Can I ask you a question?
Let me finish.
What?
Let me finish, please. When that happened, they themselves approached EMP They approached EMP.
There was an agreement.
When I'm coming.
They submitted a proposal to them.
Oh, so now you have the facts.
No,
I thought you said you didn't know.
No, you see, they submitted a proposal to them. And now I'm coming.
So,
you see, my conversation, my argument is not.
Ima, please, I'm coming. Just take your time. We are having a conversation here. I'm coming. Okay, you get me.
Well.
See, this particular issue, the reason why I don't want it to be like politically imposed. That's why I've come in with my knowledge of it.
Okay.
It's because we have listeners who are very much interested in, because there's a natural resource. It belongs to the entire country.
The country.
We all need to get proceeds from it. So we need to educate our listeners with the truth of the facts. I hope you are getting me. Now, Azuma Resource didn't approach any other company. They approached EMP.
Okay.
And EMP didn't approach Azuma Resource. It was Azuma Resource who approached EMP.
Very well.
Now, if EMP has been able, and this happened under your government, it didn't happen even when his brother was a president.
And it was not successful.
How wasn't it successful?
It wasn't when they. I mean, you know, the EMP has always wanted to buy what is Azuma Resources.
EMP, I'm coming. Please, I'm coming.
They always wanted to buy.
Please, I'm coming. Please, I'm coming. EMP only came in with the proposal to buy Azuma Resource after a year.
And
that they
which year was that?
Financed the debts and other services of Azuma Resources.
This matter, it's for public interest.
Yes.
And so we have to move away from viewing this matter and also trying to tag people making comments around it as political comments. No, my interest is not to make political comments around this thing. What I'm saying is that even if they are giving it out to the EMP, we are saying that the company it belongs to the though it's a private owned, right? The Azuma Resources it's a private owned. The black voter we know is for us. You understand? Yes. And so if there's going to be any transaction and if there are difficulties, there are financial, irregularities or whatever, you understand that they are handing over that company to a different person for a private company. They should be clear to us. They should let the process be transparent. And I'm telling you that the public, nobody knows what has happened.
I'm not getting you. Has Azuma Resource come out to say that they've been short-handed?
You see, the whole thing here is that if you listen to what the EMP is saying and what they have said previously, and if you listen to the side of the Azuma Resources Ghana, that means there's outstanding issue, right? They have not even come. If they have handed over the black voter to Ibrahim Mahama, and that will be the best to the government, we have no problem. But we are only having a problem when the accountability is undermined.
Okay, which accountability is undermined?
Very well. Here? And that is what I was talking about. You don't want me to make my point.
So I'm asking you then.
Very well. You see, before you hand over a company of that kind to a private company, there should be some laid down rules and regulations governing. The public must know.
I'm coming. You are handing over a company like this to
which that's the black voter to the EMP.
Who owns black voter now?
Who owns that?
Okay, who owned it then? Azuma Resource, right?
Azuma
Resource, a public company or a private?
It's a private company, but you know that the black voter. I'm coming. The black voter. We have black voter have always stand for what is it? It's a public company. You understand? No, the statement is that Ibrahim Mahama has taken over the black voter. Right.
He has bought it from the hands of Azuma
Resources. Yes. And so
but black voter still remains Ghana's property.
Yeah. And he's going to mine there.
Yes.
You understand? Well, if you stand against transparency, which I still believe that there should have been transparency.
I'm not standing against transparency. I'm asking what transparency you are demanding.
The processes involved in transferring the company.
But if the processes hasn't been transparent, do you think Azuma Resource would hand it over to EMP?
And that is the question people. That is the speculations around it. And so the government has hands in these things. I am telling you, the people. I have a court case with you, right? We have not even solved that court case. Then the following day, people hear that you and I the reason we are fighting,
Do
what we're
that?
fighting over, what we're fighting over, we have come in agreement. You understand? Just recently, it was published that they have come in agreement. As soon as resources, Ghana said no, we have not come to.
But they
agreement.
came back again to say that okay, now finally we've settled it. For that one you didn't hear.
You see,
no, for that one you didn't hear.
No, you see.
Oh, Imam said for that one you didn't hear.
If
for that one you didn't hear.
I heard it.
Okay, fine.
But just that they said.
I'm coming. Imam, I'm coming. Just take your time, please. Now, this court of arbitrary issue we are talking about, even when that issue was there pending, Azuma Resource was still paying and servicing the debts. EMP was still paying and servicing the debts of Azuma Resource
because they were getting a lot of benefits from it.
Okay,
you understand? They have benefited.
Okay,
and they have gone ahead and bought the company.
Okay,
very well. We should not also run away from the fact that Black Voter is a water body, and soon we are going to see EMP heavily invading the land with heavy machines. Do you understand?
I'm coming. Black Voter is a national state mine center. It
It
has never been a problem of distraction.
It has never.
Azuma has always mined there. It has never. When we go to Takwa mines, have we ever complained about the mines being a distraction to Ghana before? No. We have actual sites which the country has given out to be mined. That's where the country gains their resources from. So if Azuma Resource was mining, it wasn't a problem. Why would EMP mining it become a problem?
Have you read Bright Simon's statement? Have you listened to him?
When?
Bright Simon yesterday.
What did he say?
He said he has gone in to request for documents involving in these processes, and they denied him.
See, Imam coming. The transactions that went on is between two companies. Let's not laud people that they are superior than any other person in this country. Bryce Simmons has had his stance right from the beginning of this issue. And when it got to the middle of it, we all realized he was wrong at a point. And he admitted it. Now, he's only saying that he needs documents.
Transparency.
If I have my I'm coming. If I have my company and I'm handing it over to you privately, and you might come to say, I want to see what grounds does he have to request my private transactions? Have you asked that?
You see, I don't know why you want us to run away from this issue. But if you are pushing me to
we are not
speak,
running away from
no, we are. You see, you can tell me that. You can tell me that. Bright Simon will just get up, go to Azuma Resources, Ghana, asking them for documents when he has no right. But what is delaying them? You see, we are talking about it because it has to do with public interest, right? Yeah. And so we are also saying that because the documents were not made available, nobody knows what gone inside. We don't even know what the government stands to benefit. I mean, the people of Ghana stands to benefit from this.
Okay, I'm coming.
You understand? Even when
Azuma
Resources, I'm coming.
Even when Ima, please. When you are making a statement, it's a conversation we're having. Okay, so please. Now, Azuma Resources has always minded, right? What was Ghana making from it?
There's a percentage that goes to the government.
So you can't tell me that. What shows that EMP is not going to? In fact, EMP has been paying the services. So whatever profits or proceeds that the government was taking, EMP was paying it. So now that they've taken over, are they going to stop paying it to the government? Is that what you are saying?
I'm a bit surprised that this matter has to do with national interest, and that we are not allowed to, make our submissions or say we hold different view.
You are allowed to make it. But then you are also requested to
this is not false. There's not. When I'm talking about transparency, you don't even know what has gone in. You can't say this is false. This is not false.
Pakosi, your guy, you need to be educated.
It's not false.
Okay.
Pakosi, let me rebuttal him before we go on. Your guy need to be educated.
On what?
You see that from the very beginning, he has been fumbling. From all his points that he's making, it as if he's ignorant about the whole issue. Meanwhile, he's having certain basic facts. You see, when we talk about a company, According to the Company Act, a company is a separate legal entity, meaning a company can be sued and also it can be sued. You see, you made mention that Ibrahim Mahama is an individual. You see, when you look at the Company Act, a company is a separate legal entity, meaning Ibrahim Mahama is an individual on his own, and the company EMP is also an individual on his own. Meaning it can engage in any transaction, it can engage in any decision as an individual. You see, Ima, for instance, as he's wearing his smock like this, let me educate him so that you know that.
No, stop saying that you want to educate.
He's very ignorant about certain things. You see,
the thing is this.
The smock he's wearing is his own. The smock is his own. Today, if he decide that I want to sell my smoke, and okay, I'm also there, I'm having the resources to buy the smoke, and I've come in agreement with Ima, and at the end of the day we've judged or we've settled at a certain amount, there's no person who should have an interest in whatever transaction that goes between you and I. I can't force to take your smoke from you. This is the case between Azuma Resources and also EMP.
The argument is making it's a weak argument. If I have something to transact with you, you have a smoke. Like in the case of smoke, I'm coming.
See, when you're making your point, I was quiet. Let me land.
Listen. The point is this: if you are making a weak argument, I don't have to allow you to. I'm coming. You should listen to me while I'm saying you are making a weak argument. If you claim you are coming to educate and you are making a weak argument, I can't sit and allow you make a weak argument. You can't tell me if I have my share.
You see, my brother is having an issue. You see, this is a transaction that is that has to do with two companies, Azuma Resources and also EMP. Previously, that particular concession was being mined by Azuma Resources, but today EMP has the resources to purchase that particular concession. Just like I made mention, you have your smoke and you feel like this is the time I want to sell this my smoke that I'm wearing. Probably you don't have the resources to go to laundry, you don't have the resources to even buy soap and wash it yourself. But I kind of feel like this is the time I can also take that of your smoke, because I have the resources to wash your smoke. I have the resources to even do anything, maybe repair and maintenances and everything. This is the particular case between EMP and also Azuma Resources. Any individual has no legal right to come in between this particular transaction. Whoever that you are mentioning is just a third party in this particular,
then that means that
in this particular
if you have
issue. You see,
any legal right, then it doesn't become a public interest. Yes, if that is what he's saying. You see, if I have
a state,
what he is failing, I just want to correct something so that you go.
As a state, we are having interest in this particular point because the concession itself is being owned by the country. The concession itself it was one that it was given to Azuma Resources. So whenever this transfer is being made, the state definitely will have an interest because of the benefit we are getting from it. But aside that, any individual doesn't have the legal right to know whatever that engaged in this particular transaction. You get that? So whoever that you are mentioning, saying that this particular research, and at the end of the day he was requesting for this is a transaction between two separate legal entities. Whatever that goes between, let's say you are selling your smoke, I decide to buy it.
He made this example severally. I want to correct him. You see, when he said he was going to educate, I thought he was going to make an important impact. I'm sorry you have not made any impact anyway. If I have my own my shirt and I'm dashing it to you, there's an agreement. This has nothing to do with what is the public interest. We are concerned about the public interest. What is the public getting at the end of the day? Do you understand? That is what we are much particular about. You have gone ahead, secured a loan over 100,000 US. You have gone in, made the agreement with the people. We are expecting that the company will grow so that it will employ the people around the area, and so that the people around the area will benefit from that company. But our major concern is if the public don't really know what goes inside, I think there will be more into making profits for themselves. The company, Ibrahim Mahama, he'll be more making profits for himself than the state. we don't care what Ibrahim Mama is going to get from it. That's not our stand. We care what the nation is going to, the benefit the nation stands to drive. That's all we're discussing.
You asked him one important question. I'm glad that you were able to educate him. If previously this particular concession was owned by Azuma Resources, and whatever that they were making, the state was benefiting from whatever they were making, what then is the issue when it's being transferred to that of EMP? Is it that here, because he's the president's brother, he will say, okay, I'm going to evade tax, I'm going to evade whatever gains that the state was coming to gain from this particular thing? This is one of the very important questions. My brother just wants to peddle. He just wants to peddle falsehood.
Do you know what?
Because the person, the key person here is the president brother, and you see the transaction itself started long before even the brother became the president.
What is the impact of the
long before the brother even became a president? So today, if this particular deal has been able to sell, I think we should just look at it in a nationalistic eye rather than looking at it in a political eye. Stop fumbling and tackle it as it's supposed to be. That is the most important thing, that we should look at it in a way that this particular deal is empowering people around that particular area, is going to empower our local companies, and also is going to motivate certain people to go into certain deals like this, rather than looking at it in a political angle.
You just submitted. You are concluding it's going to empower this and you're going to empower this. You are not looking at it from the negative or from the from the other side. The thing is, if you claim you know what the government was getting from the EMP, now another company has been added to them, right? They are not going to operate too. And for the national interest, and for the good, and for the reason, or for the purposes of Ghanaian children, we are calling for transparency. And the transparency I keep hammering on is what the nation or what the state stand to gain from all of this. Okay. If we know what the state stands,
in the transaction, the state has no
listen.
issue in it.
Listen.
Because at the end of the day, the 100 million that is paid to Azuma Resources, it's not going to, the state is not benefiting anything from it aside the tax that they are going to pay from that particular transaction. But what we are looking at as a state is when they mine, what are some of the benefits that we get? That is what we are looking at. When we are talking of transparency, this is what we should be looking at.
Gentlemen, I'm coming, please. So one thing I also know, I might be wrong, but that's what I know, is that we can, let's say, Newmonts, Takwa Mines, and all these people, they are private mining companies, right? What I know is that all these private companies, nationally, they have a contract with the states on percentages they give to the state after they mine. For that one, I know. We call it royalties.
That's it.
So definitely, it is already in place. It's not something that is going to be.
It's already in place, right?
Yes.
Okay, I love that point.
Do it. Yeah.
Even in accounting, we have one particular
and which you know what
accounting policy when it comes to royalties.
Do you know what is in place between Newmont and Ghana? Do you know?
You see,
do you know?
I think we should move on with this point.
I'm asking. Do you know?
Do you know? I think this matter has gone beyond what we are just looking at. It sounds so amazing and so lovely that Ibrahim Mama is taking over the Black Volta. That is what some people feel it should be, and that's what some people have been praying for. But that's fine. If that will serve him well and serve the nation as a whole and employ the people around the area,
good point.
Maybe he can go on with it. But where I stand, there are people who are so questioning the transactions that have went on. People are questioning. You might not like it because you definitely don't have to like it. But I think people are so questioning. And until that is figured out, I am still okay. Yeah, sure.
You can't be okay. You've made a wonderful point at your last submission. I think that is very great. And just like you said, individuals can have their interest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything that has to do with the transaction has to be revealed to them. Because for me, where I see it to be a transaction between two private companies, and no individual can have his or her say in that particular transaction. What the state is looking off to benefit is, after the concession has been taken off, what are some of the benefits that is via the royalties, what are the benefits we'll be making from this particular concession?
This issue of gold,
I don't think if initially Azuma Resources was mining and the state is benefiting. When EMP take over, the state will not be benefiting. This is just a bogus point that he's making. We should be looking at what the state stands to benefit from the royalties and also the tax that will be paying to the state. At the end of the day, we are looking at empowering our people, like I just mentioned and I keep mentioning.
I
think let's move on. Let's move on. It's almost 10.
Yes.
We are actually
you see this issue of betrothing at all material times, gold to Ibrahim Ama and all that. We need to be very careful. You see, today we will not see the effects of it. It's just that I was not allowed to flow as I wanted. We will not see the effects of it. Soon and very soon, we are in this country. I pray that we all continue to live and to see the end of this 4 years. I'm not sure it's the best thing we are doing.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Please, our last words before we leave there.
Okay, so Pakosi, before we just move on to our last words, I want to touch on with that of the president's statement on we restricting some of the roadways in order to preserve.
We are not doing that. We are not doing that topic.
Yeah, I just want.
We are not doing that. We are not doing that. So let's just give our last remarks.
I think that's very fine, Pakosi. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, we are not doing. Our time is up. We need to respect our time.
Okay, so you've really cut me short. So let me just yes, I think that's very fine. We need to respect time as young people, because this is a platform being given to young people. Yes, and as patriotic people, we should be obedient when it comes to time. I think one of the great disservice our elder people have done to us is having a Ghanaman time and also having that of a foreign time. And I think when we set time for ourselves, we should always follow and do the necessary things. But for my last words, I will just say that the president has been doing well and we have been on track. And I will encourage the president and every appointee to keep doing the good works. We've seen that recently a lot of things has been going on. You've seen that a lot of salt has been cutted and that of heavy investments has been made. When you look at the t-shirt I'm wearing, that is the National Apprenticeship Program, and it has been rolled over the past 2 weeks. The program has started. Young individuals has been trained, and people will be impacted with the necessary requisite knowledge when it comes to the craftsmanship. That is carpentry, that has to do with hairdressing, that has to do with dressmaking, and all sorts of the craftsmanship. At the end of the day, unemployed people or young people would then have this particular skill at hand, and at the end of the day, to empower our economy. That is what we are just looking at. If people have skills at hand, at the end of the day, the state itself would benefit, because deviant behaviors will be careful when it comes to armed robbery, when it comes to prostitution, when it comes to anything that has to go in negative line with the state. It will be careful. And the president and the great NDC is doing well. The National Apprenticeship Program is just one example. And my great boss, which is Mohammed Ali Burma, he's the regional coordinator at the Northern region when it comes to the National Apprenticeship Program, and he's doing wonderful. I want to send my best regard to him. He should keep doing very great. He should keep doing wonderful. And also the national coordinator, which is Nicodemus. He was my lecturer back at campus at the political science department, even though I was in the accounting department. But that man, he was wonderful. And today, when he's appointed as the coordinator for the National Apprenticeship Program, he's doing great job over there. So bravo to them. And I just want to salute whoever is contributing positively to this particular government. They should keep doing well. And we, at the end of the day, we all look at getting to the promised land. Thank you.
Thank you to the Hamda. Emmanuel, your last question.
Oh, thank you so much. I think we cannot do anything without extending our gratitude to our cherished listeners. I mean, it's been good, Sure. We just, for me, I just want to say that the good people of this country should not at all times fall short of their ways. There's hope coming. After 28 we'll see that hope. We are not lucky enough to have ourselves controlled by this kakistocracy governance. That it's only the wishes of the top officials that stands. The wishes of the Ghanaian people are taken in for granted. So there's hope, and so let's all keep pushing. Whoever you are, you have to do it. You have to push harder, so that soon and very soon John Dramani Mahama will be leaving us. We know he has come for a revenge, and he's here to take that revenge. So whatever is happening now, the absence of law, the absence of justice in the country, that the minority caucus in parliament crying for every day, and it seems they are not making any impact. Soon and very soon we'll see the impact of the minority caucus. So thanks to everyone listening to us, and we hope and pray that John Dramani Mahama and his government will wake up and realize that no, they are not doing a good service for us in this country.
Okay. Thank you, the Emmanuel Chambers, and thank you to our listeners. And this is where we will end the show today. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Are you ready to